Hello, folks. Welcome to Irongeek cast number 88, Helicopter Rides. Unfortunately, I don't think Comrade Evie is on right now, so, no one to give a helicopter ride to. But, how's everybody doing tonight?
I have a confession.
Yes.
I was caught in the dark October wave this week.
I have no idea what the hell that means.
Every October, we enter what's called the fourth quarter of the year.
Well, yeah.
In which companies look at their bottom line and they say, holy shit, we're not going to make numbers this year. Lay off everybody.
Oh, see, in consulting, it's the opposite.
You got
thing. We get
I got
tons of extra work during the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, I got the green weenie.
Oh, sorry, man.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
So yeah, they did a nice number on me though, and we're already duking it out. But it's just no way to wake up on a Friday morning,
Yeah.
Just like yawn, stretch. Hey, happy Friday.
That's some good soundboard. And I'll be seeing Charles here shortly because he's going to be coming in and Liz as well, coming in here to DerbyCon.
Woohoo!
And who else is going to be at DerbyCon? Israel, you going to be here? I forgot.
Yes.
Cool.
But I will be there probably tomorrow night.
Okay.
7, 8 p.m., somewhere in that range, I'm guessing. We have a 1-year photo shoot for our son.
Nice. Okay.
Oh,
1
yeah.
year old. 1 year old. All right.
Oh, yes. So
Very nice.
That will be happening before we leave.
That's like the pictures you put aside for prom night, right?
Yes.
And kids are about the same age, I think. Charles, when's yours 1 year?
August 2nd.
Oh, so it's already passed. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so Simone's only like 2 months older than Ethan.
Yeah. It was like what wife said. There will be no DerbyCon. Pictures are done.
Yeah. So last year was a very iffy time, because I have an 7, 8 month pregnant wife, and I'm going to DerbyCon.
Oh no! That's why I didn't make it. I didn't make it last year because of that. I was like, no. Yeah, I didn't even look. I didn't even say anything about security conferences last year. I was like, nope. I'm right here.
Hey Charles, all I can say is priorities. Come on.
Yep. Priorities. With you.
This portion of the show brought to you by Trojan Condoms.
Yes. Well, just to jump out there, my Wednesday, as usual, wonderful! And it's even more pumpkin spiced up now because tomorrow I get on The Flight.
Ooh. The Flight.
The Flight. Yeah. So
now is that like a lot of different types of beers? That's kind of one of my favorite flights.
Yeah. What, the spice or the flight?
Yes.
I'm more of a whiskey one, but you have like the little thing with the 10 whiskeys in it, and
There you go.
That's good.
There you go. But yeah, I had an awesome day today. I got an award for my job. Yeah, for pulling out pulling out a pen test at the last minute. Even though it was a 2-week assessment. Well, the first week was just kind of like balls to the wall because one of the guys that we had, he wound up quitting and he went to some company called Cryptic.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much the only pen tester now left. So,
nice.
but I do SE duties as well.
Yeah.
Because SE side pays more money. So I do mostly SE work. But when pen tests do come down the pipe or they get a project, then that's when I go into tester mode and they leave me alone for like 2-3 weeks. Depends on how long the engagement is.
Okay. Now on the SE side, are you paid a straight rate?
I'm paid a straight rate plus I get commission. So
okay.
I get paid a base salary, but if the sales rep depends on the percentage and depends on how big the deal is. Like for example, if I'm just gonna use it, say if the deal is like $3 million, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I spend that every day.
Oh, Jesus. I'll
Really?
get as an SC, I'd probably get an extra $7K into my check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad payday.
That's pretty sexy, all things considered.
Yeah, and the sexy part is the fact that we get to be remote. Like we don't come out unless they have us to be demo, but a lot of times I'm home, so that's how I get to
That
have
was
the flexibility.
that was the one thing I loved about this job I just had is that 100% remote all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's just like so beautiful. And now I got to find that again.
You will. I mean, I can help you too see what's out there. I'm not sure what area you're looking in, but
well, I'm generally speaking, I'm a sock monkey.
Okay.
But I don't just sit there and wait for the red light to go on. I do all the back end stuff. I do all the maintenance, the upgrades. I do all the P&P writing, policy and procedure writing, and all that shit. So I'm like a one-man sock, basically.
Okay.
And if I was more interested in brown nosing than technology, I could be a stock manager. But I tried that once, and it was not my cup of urine. It was just not. It was not good.
Oh no, nope.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, wow, I can imagine.
I just finished knocking out like about 3,000 lines of code to write a custom sock package for these people. And they come back and go, oh, by the way, October surprise. Wah.
Speaking of sock and wah, well, one of my good friends, right? He has IT experience, but he got into the military, came out of the military, and kind of he's trying to work his way back into
what branch?
I believe he was Navy. I believe so. I think it's Navy.
Oh, man. Does he have a clearance? Because, man, Bethesda is going nuts for clearances right now.
I think he does have a clearance.
Oh, man. Just get yourself to the D.C. area. You can write your own check.
Yeah, because he's in...
not so much.
Well, he's in Richmond.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
I've seen so many cleared jobs open lately where they don't even want to talk to you unless you've got a current active clearance.
Right.
And there's just piles upon piles of these fucking things.
And see, right now, what he's trying to be, and the reason I ask you, because he's trying to get into doing, being a SOC person, get into like SOC.
Hold on. I'm gonna type in a company's name in the chat.
Okay. So go. What would be the best? Because right now he's knocking out the Security Plus, right? And got you. I got you, Jack.
What security is that? Security Plus is that the old school one where how many beeps does this mean when the BIOS turns on and shit like that?
Yeah, but he's just trying to, he's working on his certificate, so he's just trying to knock that one out. What would be another ideal one to kind of help with, I guess like HR process, because he has the access to SANS courses too.
That's the thing. Take all the SANS courses you can get your hands on.
Okay.
A lot of DOE loves SANS.
Okay.
They love SANS to death.
And especially if he's going to be, SOC side. Some courses that SANS offers.
Okay. So I'll definitely let him know that. But
you say he has access to them. I mean, like they're already paid for, or
the military paid for his. He said the military paid for his SANS course. Is going to pay for his SANS courses. So I was like, oh, okay.
Well, they're certified now. You can there's an actual degree program they have, which I was on board for that too.
Yeah.
Until the contract I was on stopped paying for it.
Gotcha.
Mostly because people were getting their degrees and then jumping ship, and they were like, "Well, we can't have that, so you guys don't get trained anymore." Real, top level stuff there. Now, the reason why I asked if they were paying for it or not is because I don't know if you've heard about this.
What's that?
There was a leak recently where a lot of SANS material has been making its way around the darknet.
Uh-oh. Not surprised.
Again?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Because I know there was the stuff from like a year or two ago.
This is like the third round of it that I've seen.
Yeah.
Wow. And on that segue, we're gonna get into the breach report. Let's get it started, guys.
One quick thing.
You know, you gotta record a sample of yourself doing that. You know.
This is gonna be a fun week.
Yes.
Cons I plan to go to. Hopefully, get B-Sides Rally out of the way and get it set up. Though I'm currently in communications, I forgot about setting up travel to it till now, and it's October 19th. But unfortunately, the person I'm in contact with, they sent emails at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and
Wow.
I got an email back today about the travel. So I need to figure out the travel because B-Sides Rally it'd be like a 9-hour drive for me. So I need to figure that one out. But that's the next one on my possible schedule. A Wild West Hackfest fell through. They had to go to a different videographer. InfoWarCon I may be at November 1 through 3rd, but things are still in flux. So I'm trying to figure shit out. But here I'm at DerbyCon right now, so that's this weekend. Anyway, continue on with the breach report.
And just real quick, I'll be at Derby, and then I'll also be at Wild West Hacking Fest. So
Awesome.
that's sounding like it's confirmed.
Yes, I will be at DerbyCon, of course. Woo-hoo! I'll also be at B-Sides DC as well. Ooh,
Swanky.
yeah. So
Nice.
October's gonna be awesome. So, and that's all for me. So back to the breach report.
There you go. Breach report.
We're not
Okay.
doing it well.
You need something more energetic for that.
I don't know.
I was going to go to PumpCon, but
What
Oh,
was that, Liz? You're going where?
PumpCon.
Okay.
PumpCon?
Okay,
Where's
DK.
that located?
Philly.
Okay.
Philly.
Cool.
You gonna go pay tribute to the old building where they knocked it down?
Don't know which whole building you're talking about.
Oh, the original hotel where they used to have PumpCon got knocked down, I think, a year or two ago.
So I'll be entirely honest. Last year was the first PumpCon I went to, and it was at a bar. So I was under the impression previous years it had also been at some bar. So I'm not too up
It was
to the.
this really seedy hotel bar. It was beautiful. PumpCon was the first con I ever spoke at.
Nice.
So it has that sort of sentimental little thing for me, you know?
Very nice. Okay, first up
Yeah.
we have ransomware.
All right.
So up first in the little ransomware subcategory is FDIP, Fetal Diagnostic Institute of the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's a mouthful. So 40,000 records breached or popped. They are covered under HIPAA, so they're going to be in violation of HIPAA, all that fun stuff. They brought in a third-party consultant. They didn't name who the company was. A little more digging, you can probably find it. And essentially, they're just recovering off a backup. Though it does sound like they had decent backups in place. So
Okay.
Well, how do you define decent backups?
that you actually had them.
Okay, it's like,
First off, that you have them and that you can recover.
well, the thing is, as they say in the movies, just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you just find out today that you got popped, and you got popped 30 days ago, your pop is probably in the backups.
True.
Could
So
be, yes.
you gotta.
So you got to go through
You
and
can't
scrub them.
just say, no sysadmin, no cry. You can't do that because you gotta scope out those backup tapes and make sure that you don't repop yourself
That's true.
or restore the vulnerability that got you popped in the first place.
They have confirmed that it is SamSam. So I don't remember how SamSam's been spread. I'm pretty sure it's phishing.
The thing is even what the initial vector is doesn't matter. Once they're in, they can put whatever they want in there. They can put netcat, they could put BO, they could put anything in there.
I hate whenever they put body odor in there.
It's
Man,
like
that sucks.
it depends on if they do persistence or not. If they do persistence and then you just restore the persistence, have a nice day.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's the one good thing about. We've seen some of the more advanced ransomware starting to build persistence, but the vast majority still isn't building persistence yet. It's like a one and done.
Script kiddies.
Yeah.
They go in there, they pop you for 40,000 records and go home and, watch cartoons because who really cares? Versus going in there, planting something, milking it for a year.
Exactly. Plus, you got to remember with ransomware, it has become very commoditized.
But again, ransomware is just the initial vector. Okay,
yes,
you go in there, you use ransomware, you pop me, fine. Now you're into my system. I'm going to load your system full of everything from A to Z. I'm going to put the Morris worm on your system,
Yeah, but you got to remember the why, though. With ransomware, what are they looking for? The vast majority of the time, it's money. And so if you start reneging on your end of the deal, because it is like a contract in place. So if you start reneging and you start building persistence in, people are going to stop paying the ransoms. So you want them to keep paying the ransoms. You want to, just keep that single vector. I mean, there's going to be guys who advance it out.
Now, here's the question. Who tracks that? Is there somebody tracking that says, 22% of the time you pay the ransom, they pop you anyway, versus 80% of the time you pay the ransom, they leave you alone, versus so on and so on?
I know some of the counterintelligence guys are, but I know internal teams that are, but I don't know if they're making any of that data public. So, yeah.
It would just be interesting to see who's playing by the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that it definitely would be.
Honor amongst thieves and all that,
Exactly. I love Robin Hood.
Nah.
Okay.
These guys aren't exactly Robin Hood. I mean, we're not watching guys sitting up there saying, who has too much money? The phone company. That stuff went out in the 80s.
Those stinking stockbrokers. So yes, on this one, there's not too much else. FDIP popped, and they are in the process of recovery. I don't know if they're fully recovered. It happened last Wednesday that they disclosed it. So yeah. Next up, we have the port of San Diego was shut down by our favorite ransomware.
Huh.
Let's see. Thursday, they confirmed that the attack was ransomware.
Right.
And they are calling it a temporary impact to service to the public in the areas of parking permits, public relations requests, and business services. I mean, in my view, the public's probably happy about that. They probably don't want to. Go ahead.
It sounded like a pivot to me. Like somebody in the parking garage got popped and they pivoted into the rest of the network.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, but the public wants to close out the public records. They don't like parking permits, so just be done with it.
Well, isn't that going to wait? You're talking about a port, like a port of entry, like where the big boats come in and dump off all the Walkmen?
Yeah.
That's gonna get Homeland Security's panties in a wad, isn't it?
Most likely.
Especially when it comes to parking permits.
Yeah.
Because some ding ding is gonna go get a U-Haul and some fertilizer and not need a parking permit. Have a nice day.
But yeah, it sounds like they're coming back up. It hit 3 to 4 of their major business units, but it doesn't sound like it spread past that. So hopefully they have segmentation in place. They're keeping different business units isolated.
Air gap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have a generalized breach. A startup named Apollo had a database stolen in a data breach.
Huh.
And this one was not a small... and this is a startup. I'm like, how in the world do startups get this much data? But they have a prospect database of 200 million contacts at 10 million companies.
I can tell you how they do that.
Well, go through and sweep the whole freaking web, but...
No, they don't even have to do that. They just take some of that sweet startup money and they go out and they buy it.
Oh, that could be.
I write a blog, okay? And I have an isolated email address for people who want to correspond with me about the blog. And every damn week, I get 200 to 300. Would you like to buy a list of potential contacts? For $10,000, we'll give you 100,000 names.
Is it webmaster at blog.com?
Well, no, it's my name at corporatejerkoff.net. And it's like, they just like, I'm like, I'm sorry, this is for my blog and not for spam. Also, go to hell. But I mean, it's easy to walk out there with a bag of money and buy that many. You can buy that many contacts in a day.
Yeah, maybe you could put your blog out in the chat. People could check it out too.
Negative ghostwriter. The pattern is full.
Oh, okay.
There's enough people to read it.
Hey, I thought I would ask. People are interested.
Well, as I may have mentioned earlier, I got warned on Friday, so. The blog is no longer. It was a corporate blog, and now that I'm no longer with the company,
Understood.
Or as they say where I come from.
Sound bites are awesome tonight, by the way. Brought to you by us.
Yes, very professional. We've been working on these for weeks.
Yeah, we have.
Even hours.
Yep. And we're trying hard every day here at Irongeek Cast for your enjoyment and pleasure.
That's right.
All right.
Okay. We're
at
TechCrunch is so annoying sometimes.
What about
the
Facebook?
Apollo?
Oh, fuck, say it!
We'll hit that in a second. Okay. So they said the investigation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
And the only statement that we made to the press at this time is the customer communication sent to affected users. They're being fairly tight-lipped and not saying whether they contacted authorities and whatnot, and just kind of being jerks about it, it seems.
Gotcha.
Well, it's one of those personal risk deals.
Yes.
You may have, on one hand, they're being jerks. On the other hand, maybe they got some lawyers with guns to the back of their heads saying, STFU.
Could be.
Well, was that Voltron I see flying through the air there?
Yeah.
Is that new one or old one? That's the new one.
I did. It's the old one, but I.
Oh, was it? I got that in the other room.
I'll form the IDS. Bing!
Yeah, my little baby. One of them. Excuse me.
Sorry, that is newer than the one I have.
Yeah.
Like yours, the red and green, will articulate to the left and right. Mine is still fixed.
No, do I have it on wrong? It's been years.
No. I mean, you have it on right. It's just, that's just slightly newer. I've seen, and they have some newer ones out now where Black Lion and all those are actually a little bit smaller than the one you have there now.
Yeah, the newer ones. I don't like the newer ones, so that's why I just kind of, try to stick with the ones that I know. I have him and my original 1984 Optimus Prime. He's clean.
My brother still has mine someplace at his house.
Hey, you should bring that and Megatron to Derby and not be upset if you don't leave with him.
I know. That would be no. How about I don't make it on the plane with Megatron because it looks like a gun?
Yeah.
So they go with my dirt.
That was back for the whole orange tip shit. It looked like a fucking P-38.
Yes, and I'm like, nope. There's no way.
A scoped P-38.
Yes. Well, apparently the gun was based on something from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It was the gun itself was based on a TV show version. Crap, there's a whole history behind it because normally a P-38 ain't gonna have no scope on it. But Megatron was pretty cool from that point. Yeah. They don't do many guns because there was only a few Transformer guns. Him and Shockwave?
Shockwave,
yeah. Shockwave at one point was a gun.
At least Shockwave didn't look like a gun though.
Right. Yeah. It needed a Galvatron.
Or I mean a real gun. I mean like a but
it was like a futuristic
like a fucking gun. Megatron, if you were playing in the park with that, stop the cops.
You're gonna get shot. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
You play with that, you're gonna get shot. That's the way to do it.
In today's day and age, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Back
I
in the
don't
day, be like, oh, that's a cool transformer.
Yeah, when I was a kid in the 80s, I had a few guns, toy guns, that looked like real freaking guns.
Oh, the 80s. Do you remember Entertech?
Oh, yes. The look, the feel,
They
the sound,
made
the real. Intertech.
they made honest to God scale water guns that looked like Uzis.
Oh,
and
yeah.
MAC-10s and
Yeah.
and AK-47s.
no more
That
of
was
that.
that was the shit. When I was in high school, kids used to carry those around having squirt gun fights. But
Yep.
it would look like somebody was actually pulling out an Uzi and like laying loose with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't do that now.
I had
Oh,
the
shit.
one that looked like the Uzi. Like we would, there was this little place in Indiana called Indiana Beach, and
Uh-huh.
we would drive the RV there. And then once you're there, all the kids, you know, at the campgrounds and whatnot, would get together and just play. And so we'd always have squirt gun fights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
Mine
I-
have
I-
time to change.
I got mine through a more nefarious method. They would confiscate the squirt guns in my high school, and they would put them into a file cabinet in one of the offices. And I would just wait until after school and go steal them out of the file cabinet. Just get a big old bag and just load it up with all the squirt guns, and then run out the back door.
Nice.
That's where I got all my squirt guns. Then I'd resell them for a couple bucks a piece. I'd keep the good ones.
Yeah,
But, you know.
that's quality.
You know
You
what?
saw
You know what?
that video. Those things look pretty fucking. They look real enough that you couldn't use those
Yeah.
anymore today.
No, you couldn't. No, you can't. You can't.
But I
Get
remember
your
back
ass
in like
wasted with
85
a
or so,
super
I really
soaker.
wanted them. I don't
No.
think I actually ever owned one though.
A
Hey,
super soaker will get you blasted today. You know.
Hey, Dem Keys, shouting you out right now. I see you. Thanks for joining the cast.
Hey, Dim Keys. DK, couple others. Okay, next up. So we got the great, big, enormous, massive, colossal elephant in the room. Bum, bum, bum. Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the articles. Just do a quick rundown, then we can discuss it.
Right.
So, Facebook. You allowed all the tokens to get popped for between 50 to 90 million people. For anybody who doesn't know, once you've entered your password and you've authenticated, the token adds essentially persistence so that you no longer have to re-authenticate. That means if I have your token, I can throw it against my machine, and now I don't have to authenticate. I'm living life as you. And somebody out there had that for 50 to 90 million people. Accounts. Yeah. Could have been
My
multiple people.
understanding, it was some kind of drop-down menu item that accidentally leaked them or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't go crazy in depth into it, but yes, there was what was it? There was a bug that had been reported to the devs
Right.
about like a video drop-down screen that just at random times this like video player or video screen would pop up on a browser. And it so far had just been reported as a bug, I believe. But somebody was able to go through and figure out exactly why that bug was occurring and then exploited it. So we have the bug, the pop. There could be interaction with other sites where you have used your Facebook credentials to authenticate against other sites. You know, you tie them in so Facebook can talk through to them, do all that fun stuff. Yeah, those other sites could also then be affected. Instagram and other sites such as that. The annoyance, once people started posting on Facebook about their accounts being logged out and having to re-authenticate and log in, once people started posting about that, Facebook started blocking all those posts with their spam engine. And then the cost. Let's see, what did that come up as? It's looking like they could be fined up to 1.4 billion euros under GDPR. for
Oh
this
my-
breach.
Oh my God! Something that one of the biggest compromises in internet history, and it's going to be a small cost of doing business.
Yeah, it's going to be next to nothing for them. But
I mean,
and
don't get me
Pretty
wrong;
much.
it's better than the $50 million that Equifax got.
yeah,
I mean, fine,
and,
that
I mean,
their
a
insurance
little
fucking
slap on
covered.
the wrist.
I didn't know about that one.
I think it was something in the
About
millions, and it
the
was not my.
Equifax one. Yeah,
No,
it,
I mean
it
I knew
happened.
about Equifax. I didn't know they were fined for $50 million. That's
Yeah, that's
It was
crazy.
low millions. It was a middle finger to the public.
yeah.
Well, no, and I mean, then on the back end, they also lost all their government contracts. So
Oh, did they?
They lost-
I
they
actually
lost-
didn't know that.
Yeah, sure they did. That's going to represent so much monetary loss to them. Now they're just going to have to be. They're just going to have to, be comfortable with all the banks and financial institutions that also rely on them that have not canceled their contracts.
True.
So pretty much it's no different than, and I'm just going to use this analogy. You're probably in high school and you're with your girlfriend, and then her parents come home. That doesn't stop you from doing it. You just got to do it a little quieter.
Well,
I'm just
mileage
saying.
may vary on that one.
I'm just saying.
So, yeah, I
You're
did
pulling
hear
your
talk.
pants on and going out the window.
The only thing that's really going to come from this, because I don't really expect any meaningful sanction to happen to Facebook. But what I saw was there's going to be probably a change to the OAuth protocol. Presently, one of the major concerns on security end is that, as was stated, the single sign-on from Facebook can log you in on various websites, even if you've never used those feature on those websites. That feature on the websites. One of the big problems is once that's been done and the website has now generated its own cookie for you, even if Facebook there's nothing Facebook can presently do to tell every single website rescind those cookies.
Yeah.
Correct.
Whoa, wouldn't that be a Dev 101 right there?
So a lot of people operate under the assumption that Google and Facebook are roots of trust, and that if they get fucked, we're all fucked, and so they don't really think further than that.
Well, isn't that just a big bag of stupid?
Yeah, it really needs to
Yeah.
run more like a certificate authority.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if you built that with no revocation in it, you might as well just go home and suck on your DeVry diploma.
Exactly. Yeah,
Pretty much.
exactly. One thing that I did want to point out that Liz hit on briefly. So this wasn't even just like I have my username and password and enter in type of issue. This goes past that to if you use multi-factor and
Yeah.
you use a YubiKey, you use text for secondary auth, whatever you use. This is past that. So that's why this is massive and such an issue, because this is not just
it's even
password.
worse for many websites.
Yeah,
it's
it's
even
not
worse.
password hacking. It's past that. I mean, it doesn't matter how you authenticate. They have you. So this is like going onto a backend database with the clear text passwords, and scraping and getting the entire list. I mean, it is big.
So here's some of the even worse parts of it. Many websites have no mechanism to allow you to rescind active cookies, authentication sessions. So if an attacker does have that the cookie generated from single sign-on, for many websites, you can't remove it from them. You can't de-authenticate those cookies.
Correct.
No, shouldn't they automatically de-authenticate if you log out?
And
that's
depends
the
on how
reason.
it's engineered for the website.
Yeah.
In a
some
perfect
websites,
world,
yes,
or re-engineered really quickly.
Because think of it this way: for websites you log into with multiple devices, if you log out with one device, does it always log you out with every device?
I don't believe so, because I've done this with Google. If you're using Gmail, sometimes you notice in the lower right-hand corner it says this is logged in at 3 other places, and you log out one of them, and you go back and look, and it says now it's 2 places. So I don't think it logs out everybody unless you say log out.
on Facebook in particular, you have to specifically go into your settings and manually log other things off. Because I've had to do that with my kids because I have her Facebook account on my phone to keep track of her. So her punishment for doing it during school was I log her out and change her password so she can't log back in while she's in class. But you can selectively log them out manually, but it does not default to that. You have to manually do it.
Fun.
That's awesome. Real quick. Hi, Simone.
Say hey, everybody.
Hi, Simone.
Say hello. Yeah.
She's a cutie.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is everything for the breach report. Caprico is going to be potentially joining late if he is able to join us tonight. So we're going to move vulnerability of the week down towards the end in case he can join us. And let's go ahead and move on to Weird Group of the Week.
Okay, Weird Group of the Week. As far as, and this one, really, if you watch my resource videos, you'll get more out of it. This is a group of people who say that they're rednecks, but they're very far left rednecks. And a lot of the rhetoric is downright Marxist about class struggle and so forth. And there's a whole lot of talk about fighting white supremacy, but I think they see white supremacy everywhere. A lot of them also claim to be rednecks, but if you actually watch the videos with them in it, it's kind of weird. Like, all right, here's one of the things that brought them to my attention again. A fucknut who was fucking with me on Twitter a while back about, Khan still having me out to record because my politics are to the right of center. I don't think they're particularly far right. Hell, I think they're even downright centrist for 90s standards. But this fucker fucked with me, and someone has suggested about violent revolution or something if Kavanaugh gets the nomination. And by the way, for some things I've read, Kavanaugh is probably not the best choice they could have put forward. However, a lot of the accusations against him have seemed to be somewhat nebulous, and I think the Democrats sure took a different route with him. They should have, objected to some findings of, past Fourth Amendment decisions. Then again, I've also heard Kavanaugh was just basically going along with the Supreme Court decided. You guys kind of, how do you put it this way? Very precedent, very tending towards precedent. It's not about Kavanaugh. Anyway, yeah, this guy has supported Antifa before. He's a little bit of a nut job, but I've had to mess with him before. But apparently, he claims to have joined Redneck Revolt. So I looked into Redneck Revolt more, and it seems to be like an offshoot of Antifa, but it's more organized as far as I can tell. Because I think anybody can pretty much call themselves Antifa. That's another group I need to look into more. But basically, far left people, but instead of being really pro gun control, they like guns. And well, to give you an idea of some of these people, let me open up a few links. Oh, actually, I just realized I wasn't actually sharing my screen there. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the idea of a Marxist redneck.
Well, yeah, you have to listen to Sargon of Akkad's video. It's in the show notes, and the show notes are linked. But yeah, this is the guy I've had a interchange before. This dude is freaking insane. I mean, he supports whatever nut-ring far-left stuff. He once said I was forcing women out of InfoSec or something.
Oh, everyone does that these days.
I'm like, if you're forced out with the things I say, just criticizing modern radical feminists, you are pretty weak-willed. But yeah, check this dude out. This dude, well, all male feminists are creepy motherfuckers. This dude's seriously creepy. But
not that crap.
One of the guys who is going to be advocating for violence. But if you ever actually look the guy up, oh hell, I got to actually look this guy up. I got to show you a picture of this guy.
I love Adrian's story time.
Yeah, me too.
This is the guy.
What in the world?
He looks like he's huffing paint.
Yeah, I think he was huffing paint.
Some motherfucker, by the way, that was talking about. The thing I understand least about all the Irongeek drama is why people still schedule him to record, because I get the job done and I'm useful. You worthless piece of shit. Look at this guy.
And on top of that, he was
seriously.
And on top of that, he was huffing the wrong flavor paint.
The wrong flavor.
Do we even know if this is a real picture of him and not?
Yes,
You know.
I do. Supposedly, he's actually met me at conferences before.
Okay.
I don't remember the motherfucker. He's just another one of these kind of
Yeah, poster child for retroactive abortion. Yeah.
Dude, I am pro-choice. I am pro-choice for a reason.
What? Who is this?
Bro.
Is that Cav P?
Bro,
No,
that's-
what is this guy's? His
That-
handle
that-
looks like Wednesday.
Because that
Okay.
used to be Cav P's avatar or picture. I just didn't know if it was that an actual.
Take a moment, okay? Look intensely at that picture of him right there, okay? Okay, you ready? Put the picture back up there.
Trogdor strikes again.
No, this is his handle right here. The dude's fucking being other people who are anything to the the right or far left. He's
I don't know. I kind of think he was doing some weird stuff with the Tin Man.
Yeah, what if he ever is actually going to see this video? But he's fucked with me on Twitter before. I'm going to fuck with him back. And I have a much more,
Dude,
I'm trying to figure out why I'm not seeing any of this.
What's that?
I'm not seeing this on screen share for some reason.
Is anybody else seeing on screen share?
I
see
see
it.
it.
Yes.
I see it. Yeah.
All right, it's a personal problem.
All right, just making sure. Anyway, I'd highly recommend if you want to know more about this group. If you watch the Sargon video, damn, that's disturbing fucking picture. Covers it basically the far left people. But if you watch some of the videos of them, they say they're rednecks, but I have a hard time going along with them being like real rednecks because most of the rednecks I know, a lot less. Well, look at this dude.
That's not a redneck.
Yeah, that's a half.
That's a part-time barista.
Got him.
That's the guy who fucks up your coffee at Starbucks. That's
Hold
not
on a
a
second. I'll get right back. I got to answer my door. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
bet
Redneck
you he
Revolt
can't
is
even
off
get-
Adrian.
But yes,
You can't even get into a pickup truck, much less drive one.
yeah, I'm around a ton of rednecks and sometimes considered rednecks. So yeah, that is not a redneck.
Whatever.
If you've never thrown a bale of hay,
Because I
you're
like
not
to
a
talk.
redneck.
All right.
What's that for?
You got a place to
Converting
stay.
into a Jeff
All right,
Fox
let me
worthy.
Let me get back to story time. Anyway, one of the things this guy is known for, the guy in the picture, is here's one of the things he was bragging about. He's this weird ass professor. I'm not sure what he teaches. He says in this one post on Facebook, it looks like, I take perverse pleasure in having carried this spiked lower in defense of Justice Park on August 12th. There was no offense involved. Yeah, there was some assholes on the far right, or what people call the far right, who were there as well. But he wasn't defending jack shit. I used this rifle to chase off James Fields. That was the guy who plowed into some people at Charlottesville.
Yeah.
From our block of 4th before he attacked the merchants in the South. Spike needs a good lesson in ethics and anti-fascism. First of all, this little piece of shit probably won't know what the fuck fascism is. He'd want to shut down anybody to the right of Lenin, probably speaking, based on some of the other shit I've seen. But he's I'm showing another video of this dude here in a.
Is that like an airsoft rifle?
I don't think he actually has an airsoft rifle. I think unfortunately this guy actually has.
No. That's airsoft.
But here's basically the thing is
That's airsoft because look at the lower receiver.
Yeah.
It has safety, fire, and burst. The only way you can have burst is
If it's
If
full
it's
auto.
Full auto.
Yeah.
Full auto, and there's not many of those out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you just have an FFL.
But the guy's bragging about chasing the guy off. If you ever watch some of the videos of James Fields, depending on which angle you get, there's people who are actually hitting the back of his vehicle before he speeds up. And a different angle, when he hits the crowd, there's instantly people dressed up in Antifa, all masked up shit, beating the shit out of the back of his car. So him throwing in the reverse, I can understand. So I'm still confused about what all events happened there. No, I'm not trying to defend James Fields, but I'm saying there's more shit involved, and there's some bad shit going on the far left nut jobs like this guy, causing some problems. Like if you watch this particular video is kind of interesting, and by all this is in the show notes. this group I need to do more research on, but apparently they have multiple chapters around the country. Let me rewind. And this guy says he's a redneck. Let's watch this video. Or anthropology, cultural anthropology. Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, fuck.
Put that down. Put that down, sir. You're on private property. You're on property. You may not touch it. You don't touch me. Move past me. Move past me. Move past me. Move past me.
Oh, man, he's an SJW.
Oh, hell no. He's not a redneck.
Yeah, that's not a redneck.
Dude, I got stuffed animals that are more redneck than this guy.
A redneck would have been holding a beer and hit you right in the face.
Dude, I got bunny rabbits that are more redneck than this guy.
This guy is broke back redneck.
Oh, yeah, look, he's a broke back redneck, but he ain't no redneck.
Right before the incident.
And I'll tell you what, if he's a broke back redneck, he sure as hell ain't no picture.
I'm trying to leave. They're here. They're in this private office filming us right now. Will you just answer the one question that we're trying to ask you? Why did you do that?
Go to your safe space.
Is he an Oregon redneck? He's an Oregon. He's a Portland redneck, isn't he?
You know what? That would fit. That would fit.
He's Portland. That's it.
The dream of the 90s is a lie. Yeah.
Are you responsible for the death of Heather Heyer? Gracious sakes, please. Sorry?
Is he wearing BCGs? Seriously, is he wearing BCGs?
Yeah, Emotac just said on YouTube, LOL, German uniform.
Yeah, this guy is a bit Daryl, what was it? Something Dixon.
It looks like, his grandmother gave him $50 and he went to the surplus store for his birthday.
Oh, the discount surplus store.
Yeah.
I don't know where he teaches. It wasn't where one of you said.
Well, it said cultural anthropology in the
professor
text.
at University of North Carolina.
Oh, I was going to say, was it Evergreen?
Yeah, Evergreen State College is totally fucked. Anyway, this is a far left group that claims, redneck cultural values. But if you read some stuff from them,
what the hell are redneck cultural values?
God and motherfucking Budweiser.
Don't touch your sister. She's mine.
Yeah, it's usually beer, guns, beer, trucks.
Well, these guys definitely have at least some guns. But then again, you remember a certain nut job that's in the hacker community who was advocating for people to come to the DEF CON shoot dressed up as revolutionaries, right?
Oh, I hadn't heard from Gweeds in a long time.
Jesus.
What'd you say, Gweeds?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about Gweeds?
I don't know about Greeds, no.
Okay, back in the golden era of hacking, there was a guy named Gweeds who gave a talk at DEF CON and had to be escorted off the stage by goons because he was advocating people to blow up government buildings and do all kinds of other crazy shit.
What's the guy's real name? Jeremy Hammond?
I don't remember.
That sounds like something Jeremy Hammond did. Okay, let me Simple say a lot.
Hello.
All right, I'm ugly, so I'll take myself off camera. But anyway, that is my group of the week. Anybody got any questions? I highly recommend you watch Sargon's video on it. It's probably it's going to cover things in a lot more detail. Obviously, I just find these kind of people annoying.
Yeah, we've been breeding a lot of these annoying people lately. We've been allowing them to exist and giving them airtime.
Well, that's why we have Weird Group of the Week.
Yeah, but I don't mean we as in us. I mean, we're better than that. I'm talking about like the general population. I mean, these are the kind of people who normally get kicked out of Gen Pop and live in coffee houses, snapping their fingers and listening to Bob Dylan records. You don't normally see these people, out in the open.
True.
Carrying an airsoft AR-15 and bragging about how you're chasing people with it. I mean, I've been chased by scarier things than that.
Well, my wife is scarier than that. And she's Filipino.
Yeah,
she's a little Asian woman.
I used to be a clinic escort.
I can attest to that. She can be terrifying. She's tough, man. She's tough.
Heck yeah.
I love her.
Have any of you ever done clinic escort work before?
Well, I've done EMT work. We've dealt with real crazy. Like the cops call you in to be bodyguards.
Oh no! I'm talking about like the kind of people that help out at Planned Parenthood when the nutters get out there and they try and block the driveways and stuff, and you escort people through the gauntlet to get to the front door.
Yes, I've done it.
I had people like waving like jars with fetuses in them at me and been hit with Bibles and crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
Just some wannabe redneck in a German military uniform, screaming about his rights or something just doesn't really faze me.
And a funny thing is that somebody in the German army would fucking knock his dick in the dirt.
Well, by the looks of him, anybody could knock his dick in the dirt. I mean, I'm sorry, but he looks like at least half vegan. Okay.
Yeah, what's the videos out there on Redneck Revolt, and that is what most of them. Oh crap! I need to find this group photo. There's this lovely group photo of.
Let me guess. It's out in front of the tofu hut, right?
Shit.
Here we are at the mall in front of the tofu hut in our German uniforms.
I got.
No, it's behind the tofu hut.
Behind the tofu.
Here's my. Here's a group photo.
Oh, for the love of fuck! Is that an '80s hairband album cover?
Looks like
okay,
Nick
so
Jonas
one
on the
of them
right.
is wearing fire PPE, old style from like the '90s or the early 2000s that we no longer use. We have barista. Okay, all the men are baristas.
Wait,
the chick,
I called that.
The chick is super. She's super. Okay, no, this is like fucking Seattle. They're all fucking. Look, they're all wearing skinny jeans. What redneck wears skinny jeans?
You know what? I think Seattle's a little too far south. You know what? I'm gonna call this as Bellingham.
Oh, wait a minute. No, they're Vancouver.
Yeah, see,
Vancouver
is right across the water from Bellingham.
We looked at what this guy called it. It wasn't Vancouver.
Hey, that could be upstate New York, y'all.
No, but more like that's West Coast. I guarantee you that's Upper West Coast. Look at the fucking skinny jeans.
Is this the picture of like the half dozen of them in the woods and most of them?
Hey, does this camo make me look fat?
Okay, I've seen this one.
The guy apparently worked as a teaching assistant. A teaching assistant at University of North Carolina. The guy in the middle. Now, this guy looks like he might be able to kick some ass. The black guy here, like everybody else.
Yeah, but the thing is,
the black guy's only there because he's their token black guy. They might have paid him to come out.
The black guy always looks like he's going to kick some ass because the black guy is angry.
Just wait until Freddie or Jason show up. He's going to be the first one gone.
Look, he's the only one who looks angry in the whole photo. Everybody else is waiting to go to Applebee's and get bottomless appletinis.
Yeah,
he's out there like, I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
Yeah,
and I'm all out of bubble
he's
gum.
The professional, man. He's the professional. He's making money off this because they need at least one guy who knew what the fuck they were doing to get a good picture.
Hey,
okay, this one to the left here, to the left of that guy, what is that facial expression? That is like the high school yearbook photo expression right there.
Yeah, both the women are like smirking.
By the way,
is she wearing yoga pants? Wait a minute, they both are.
Oh my god, it's like it's like Pantera fans in love.
Yeah, all I can say is I don't see one pair of Wranglers in there.
I joined at the right time.
There's no Wranglers, there ain't no Carhartts. Where's the Carhartt jacket? None of them got no damn Carhartt jacket.
Dude, wait a minute. She's wearing Uggs.
The guy
that.
Tell me I'm wrong. Is she wearing Uggs?
I'll have to look. I can't zoom. I'm on my phone and I can't really.
There is not a single combat boot in that picture.
No, there's no combat. There's no barn boots. There's no combat boots. That camo is too clean. Look how clean his camo. That shirt's too fucking clean. You're a redneck. He just bought that today.
Yeah, their
No,
shoes are all
you know what?
clean.
Oh, he's cosplaying. You're correct. He's
I
cosplaying.
bet his mom washed him and folded him for him.
At this point, Mary probably has more redneck cred than anybody on his cast.
Probably close.
All right.
When's the last time you slaughtered a pig?
5 weeks ago.
In what sense?
Yeah, because I mean, I just slaughtered one today and got blocked on on Facebook. So does that count?
God damn.
I'm gonna take a picture the hell off the screen.
It's making
All
me feel ill, Adrian.
Mary, I've castrated sheep. How many points does that get me?
What?
Castrated sheep and pigs.
Okay.
How many points does that get me?
I'll give you. You get your novice degree. That's your first. That's when you break into it. Now, when you get to the point when you got a sick lamb out in your porch, that you're giving injections to and having to tube daily. Yeah, that's when you got to go a little bit deeper. And when considering that today we've been doing cleanups, so we've been up to our elbows in shit. So, yeah.
It reminds me of a date I had once.
Hey, Illustrious, say what you got to say, man. Illustrious?
So about that picture, the point I was going to make was everybody else in that picture has like kind of mid-range to low-end ARs and Kalashnikovs. The black dude is actually rocking an HK rifle. I'm not as familiar with HK's offerings in 5.56 millimeter. I want to say it's an HK94, but those are what he has in his hand is relatively rare in the U.S., even as a semi-automatic.
You know. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. It looks like airsoft.
It probably is.
You can get anything in airsoft.
Well, okay. I will concede that point that it could be airsoft, but assuming it's a real rifle, he's got like $5 or $6 grand in his hands right there.
Which mommy and daddy probably paid for, yeah.
You know,
that would be full auto though.
No, it wouldn't. Not necessarily. There were semi-auto versions of that rifle that were imported to the U.S. Prior to the 1989 import ban.
I still say it's airsoft, and it's maybe $1,000 to throw.
I mean, that's counting likely given the people.
That's counting the scopes and everything else.
I'm saying if it was a real, if those are real firearms, he just pulled something rare out, and most people who own that stuff are not going to be like, yeah, I'll just roll to the range on a random day of the week and then, shoot the 6K gun. Like maybe once or twice a year they'll pull that stuff out and use it. But
it's got to clear. It's got to do its oiling and get a couple things through the chamber just to keep it nice and fresh. But no, it's not a daily shooter.
Again, this reminds me vaguely of dating.
Well, everything about this should remind you of dating. This is all the crazy swipe the other direction on Tinder people.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, you said Vancouver. I mean, this is the kind of people you find in Bellingham.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're right up next to each other. They're kissing cousins. Yeah.
Well, they do more than kiss. That's for damn sure.
Although, if it is up by Vancouver, doesn't Canada have slightly different rules when it comes to some of those weapons?
Oh, hell
that's
yes.
a good point. That's
Canada,
really good point.
Canada has very restrictive laws.
None of those guns would be allowed outside of a private gun club. You would have to buy them and register them.
They might be. Well, it's woods. How do you know they're not at a private? How do you know they didn't go to a gun club, rent them? Because there's plenty of places you can rent some pretty cool shit.
So if it was Canada, the gun club, they're literally not allowed outside of the storage area or literally the range line. You would be shooting a backstop in the background.
Yeah, Canada has what's called prohibited weapons, which basically, if you've got one of those grandfathered in, it pretty much stays locked up because you're never going to be able to bring it out because of the nature of it. You can legally own it, but it has to stay locked up.
All right, and speaking of locked up, let's lock back into the show notes.
Woo!
What a segue.
So what's next?
My nipples!
Next up, Mary threw this on here, I think. Thoughts on raw water trends. Mary, quite contrary.
Coming. All right, actually, this was something that my current guest had brought up the other day because I hadn't heard of this shit. But he brings it up. He goes, "Have you heard of raw water yet?" And like, what is this? And particularly, I'm gonna let him discuss this because honestly, Nightshade. You'll be fine. Considering that you were going to do a talk and a demo on proper sanitation of camp water, this drove me absolutely up a wall. So apparently, this trend has been for close to a year now because that article came out in January. And it's been very popular, apparently, in like San Francisco, Silicon Valley, is now we're going to drink unfiltered, pure, direct, raw water because it's better for you. And so they're going out of their way to find untreated water. Now, I understand if you're doing it correctly and you're getting it from a stream up in the mountains, it's semi-safe. But they're apparently just pulling it from whatever, and there's nothing policing where this water is coming from. So to me, that's just let's poison ourselves. So I just want to let you guys know.
That sounds more like let's make some money off the gullible to me.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, don't worry about the bear scat, north of this.
I'm not worried about bear scat. Have you seen the Penn and Teller episode where they take a garden hose and they fill water carafes with it and they pass it off as bottled water?
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, this is such refined." I mean,
exactly.
You can take anything and pay organic on it and sell it at 3 times the price in San Francisco.
But at least if it's coming out of a fucking garden hose, it's in theory going through a chlorination process depending on what that hose is hooked up to. And this is like raw. Like, oh, we got this out of a lake. I think we looked up the definition and it said rainwater, lake water, or running water coming directly from nature with no processing. And I'm like, well, if it's running water, it may be okay, but I wouldn't want to drink anything that sits or rainwater, considering, yeah.
And how do they define from nature? I mean,
what I just said, if it has to be found either collected from the rain, it has to be in a natural stream. Or it has to be in a pond in a pond or lake is their definition. I'm like, that is very broad. And
have you seen pond? There's a pond. I can tell you a story about the scariest pond you will ever see in your life. Okay.
Yes.
If you want to see, and this is open to the public, okay, go to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You drive up the hill, okay, you're in Los Alamos. There is an open public park with a pond in the middle of it. There is shit in that pond that the evolutionary people have not figured out yet. When you see a fish come out and attack a duck, and the duck is like half dead when it's done, it's scary. You don't want to touch that pond water, much less get near it. I mean, you can see things in that water. It's just... I don't know what the hell. Some radioactive mutant fish that eat ducks, but it's bizarre.
I mean,
I would not want to drink pond water. That would just be bad.
Up here, I've got fish that will eat
no,
dogs.
I want to. All right, fine. So my shy friend has also kind of brought up the point. He goes, also thinking about like the water it's going through, like copper mines and stuff.
Or even fracking.
Yeah, exactly. Water from fracking runoff. Because I don't think these people are very smart. Even if, and that's been a problem with me for recently. Is why are all the fucking smart people so goddamn dumb?
They're selling to idiots.
Well, because they're smart. You've heard of the phrase "the smartest dumb person" or "the dumbest smart person"? I mean, trust me. I have dealt with these kind of people before. I have the dumb, smart people, and most of them are victims of helicopter parents. And they're like, the parents have sterilized and cauterized everything for them their entire lives.
I would say lobotomized, but
everything is in a book, and it's like, well, what do you mean you can do it that way? The book says you can't do it that way. The kind of people you take out into the woods, and they're like, oh my god, that deer is taking a crap. It's like, well, yes, what they do. I didn't know.
I told you guys of the experience. Oh, here it is. Of the experience that we had up here, where literally a couple of IU students at the gas station were disgusted by the farmer hauling his cattle off to market. And my God, I can't believe that they're like, ew. You think they'd buy their meat at like, shut up. You think they'd buy their meat at like, like the grocery store where like, animals get hurt. And you always think that this is a lie, but it fucking happened like right here. Because they're dumb. So,
yeah.
Let's throw it back to the water real quick and let Illustrious have a couple words on it.
Oh, so This actually, I have a friend who recently, he currently lives in Austin, but he previously worked back in like 2006 on a cruise ship because he's a musician. He was in the band on the, like, the cruise ship line, and just well, maybe not. It turned out to be a pretty shitty job for him because they give all of the good berths to the passengers. So like. His cabin didn't have a window. It didn't have good ventilation.
Ooh,
it was a challenge for him to stay healthy on board. Turns out he got some souvenirs from his time there. The doctor recently found out that he suffers from norovirus, a tapeworm, and several unidentified parasites in his intestinal tract.
Unidentified?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome. Hey, that's weight loss right there.
Yeah. Well, this dude started off at like 100 pounds. He doesn't have any to leave.
Crap.
I was about to say, if he's any guy, if he's a musician and he's any kind of musician close to me, he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So this is a cruise ship?
This was on a cruise ship.
Oh yeah.
And this was like back when they were having the problems with the different viruses and stuff in the water tanks on those things.
Yeah.
But the good news is apparently they can, with like modern antibiotics and some other medicines, they can get rid of the parasites and tapeworm. But he's going to basically have norovirus for the rest of his life. Like, he'll have occasional flare-ups of that. Like, people who get malaria have occasional flare-ups. So I think these people who are saying, "Oh, I'm just going to drink raw water the way nature intended it," I'm like, yeah. When people lived the way nature intended, half of us were dead before we were 35 years old.
So did he get some kind of ridiculous settlement from the cruise company over this?
I don't know.
I mean, illness for life. That's got to, that's got to ring the cash register at some point.
Yeah.
So just from a I don't know perspective, will filtration take care of items like this, or does it require chemical?
There's two things. There's two simple things you can do. Use a filter that has meshes that are at most 0.1 microns.
Yeah.
That's like your Life Straw or Catadine filters. All of these filters that backpackers use.
That's your Life Straw.
They will all filter out like tapeworm eggs and bacteria and stuff like that.
Okay.
The second thing you can do, and I would recommend personally doing both. The second thing you can do is boil the water, because all of these life forms can't exist above a temperature of about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you bring it to a boil, you've definitely raised the water temperature higher than they can survive.
Yeah.
There's also a variety of different water purification tablets. Like one of the brand names is Aquamira.
Yeah.
Like Halzone tablets. Or iodine tablets. Some of those wind up leaving a little flavor in the water, and if they do,
juicy.
A good hack for that is you take vitamin C tablets and crush them up and throw them in the water, and that'll take out the
neutralize it.
But when I was hiking with Mary and Hackers on a Farm, I had like I think 5 different ways to purify water in my backpack.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to be careful with some stuff, the filters, because if you use something like the UV pins, where you basically expose it to UV light, because UV light will kill most bacteria and such, is if you don't filter the water, you may not filter out particulates in the water, which may contain bacteria inside of them. So they'll be shielded from the UV light. So you'll drink it, they'll break down, and bam, you got it now.
Well, I would not recommend UV in, like, if there's a water department that has like a UV treatment cell, that's fine. But trying to do UV ultraviolet purification of water yourself, I don't think you're going to find that you have a high enough flux of UV light.
Yeah.
Make that
I've got this is going to sound odd, but I have a collection of UV lights for cleaning shit up like that. I've actually got a toothbrush case that has a UV light in it.
Yeah. Now, if you do that, make sure you filter beforehand. Like, get some cheesecloth, or so that's not to be a super great micron, but basically the point of that is killing the bacteria and viruses that you can't filter out. So if you boil it or like that, just get like a set of cheesecloth, filter it with that, and then you're done. You can boil it at that point, or use whatever water treatment you want.
Well, I would say rather than carrying the UV, if you filter and then boil.
Yeah, you're golden.
You've pretty much done everything, and you know, if you're hiking someplace, if you're out someplace where you can gather wood and build a fire, and you have a metal container, you're good to go as far as boiling water.
Yeah. Do you need to filter as well as boil, or could you just boil it and then?
You could just boil it. There will be particulates in the water. The water will, if you just boil the water will.
It'll be murky.
But it'll be murky, and it might cause you diarrhea just from the particulates and stuff in there.
Yeah.
We all know how much fun that is.
If you boil it for like 15 minutes, it will kill anything inside of it because it's so hot, nothing can survive even inside the particulate matter. But it's always a risk again. Yeah, getting something in there that you shouldn't have in your system.
A cockroach could make it.
You know what I?
Poor Trevor.
Hopefully the cockroach is a filter.
Speaking of just like cleansing, what I run on my meats now is apple cider. And
Yeah.
you'd be surprised what runs off of the meat after putting apple cider on it. You'd be like, oh my God. So just cleaning it with water is not enough. So now I just, I put it in some apple cider as well too. And all that stuff runs off of the meat. I'm like,
Yeah, I like to marinate my stuff in apple cider, and I think it's a pretty decent. I've done that. When you guys had barbecue, it was apple cider based marinade.
Oh yeah, always.
Especially the raw organic apple cider.
Yeah, you know what?
There's some bacteria that's okay, and that's one of those ones that there's certain things that you do want because you do want certain probiotics, but it's the bad stuff you want to try to avoid. So, but people forget cheese and that kind of stuff. It's a fairly controlled environment because you're controlling what bacteria you're adding back in. Because I've made cheese and I've made yogurt, but just everything is no, you don't do that.
The other final point I would make about taking water from nature, as someone who lives in Michigan and knows of the industrial past of Michigan, I pretty much assume every surface body of water in Michigan, if I'm drawing water from it, it's contaminated with industrial chemicals, and there's no way for me to filter that out. Like for example, there's a DNR advisory about taking wild game in the Tittabawassee River watershed, which is where Dow Chemical operated in Midland. So it's like, if you kill a deer there, it probably has above recommended dosage of dioxin in its flesh. And I could go. That's the one I can remember. I could go on, but basically the.
This sounds like a challenge for a group that I'm part of right now. There's a new Facebook group that just came out called Off Grid Hackers.
Oh,
fun! There as well.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I'm one of the admins, and this sounds like a challenge that we would be up to like testing out to see what you can and can't filter out, and whether you can find dioxin or what have you.
Well, the way that the one known way that you can filter this stuff out is a reverse osmosis filter. But as far as I know, there's none that are like that's like an industrial device. It's not like something you're going to carry in your car.
It is and it isn't. It's not just a filter; it's an entire process.
Yeah,
and you can buy the kits that do it at home. They run in the high 900s, I think, somewhere in there. You can get a reverse osmosis system for home that fits under your sink for under $1,000 from like Home Depot.
And don't use the glass ones if you can possibly avoid them.
But I actually when I used to buy water, I used to buy water in the big multi-gallon things and put it in the dispenser. I used to buy raw water, straight from the factory where they filtered it. But I looked into it for a while because I wanted to. I was worried about the exact same thing, chemical waste kind of stuff getting in there.
I have 2 items. First, off topic. Anybody watching right now? On the show notes, that's down under Adrian Crenshaw and the Irongeek logo. Click on the show notes. Very first link in the show notes is our Discord channel. Sign up. Join us over on Discord. Second, what are your thoughts on rainwater? Because me thinking about that, I honestly don't see a lot of acid pollution
In regards to what exactly?
In regard to drinking water.
It depends on where you live, because if you live in LA, you're basically drinking anything that came from China because that's where it lands.
No,
if you live, you got to be really careful where you live, and I would still filter and boil that shit.
Yeah, I would filter and boil it.
I would think that would be common sense. You boil it, and because that's like the first thing that they would teach us in Boy Scouts was like, if you have to get water, boil it, and you're good. That was it.
Now, that brings up an interesting point, talking about China. What about Fukushima?
Exactly, and that's a lot of groundwater too.
So the radiation levels, if you're talking about like radiation levels from Fukushima on the west coast of the United States, they are so, how should I put this? When you dilute the amount of radiation Fukushima is releasing into the entire Pacific Basin, you're not even budging background. Like, you're going to be getting more radiation from the sand on the beach that you're standing on than you would from the water that has trace cesium-137 from Fukushima. You're going to get a higher dosage of radiation from all of the above-ground nuclear testing from the 50s and 60s out in the Pacific than you are from Fukushima.
On that note, I have done a very bad thing.
What?
Well, obviously, but what this time?
I went to Costco and I whipped out my cell phone. I whipped out my cell phone, and I have, because I'm an audio geek, I have one of those audio frequency meter things, right?
Yeah.
So it takes audio in through the cell phone and breaks it down into a little spectrum analyzer.
Yeah.
And I went down into the fish department, and I started like waving my cell phone over the fish. And as people were walking by and making noise, it was making the little waveforms jump up and down. And finally, somebody asked me what I was doing, and I looked at it and I said, "Dude, Fukushima." And like I was like going through the packages of fish and moving them around and going, "Not that one, not that one." I had people like looking at me, going, "Holy shit, what's that dude doing?" And when they would come over and start talking to me, the more they would talk, the more the waveform would bounce around on the phone, and they were just like, yeah, I'm looking for deviation and background radiation, and then
That's awesome.
Well, that's almost as good. You see, Bill posted Costco.
Oh man, I used to work at Costco, and that's exactly how I pictured that going down.
But did you get the 55-gallon drum of olive oil? And are you bringing it to DerbyCon?
I'm not going to be going to DerbyCon.
Then mail it to us, because we all need a 55-gallon drum because Dave and Milton.
The only thing I considered ordering that comes in a 55-gallon drum was on Amazon. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's famous.
The lube?
Yes.
Lube. Yeah, the 55-gallon drum of lube.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be perfect for DerbyCon.
That'd be perfect for DEF CON.
DEF CON too. Well,
I just want to see Jim take that with him to Derby or DEF CON or something like that with him one time.
Well, see, I live in Vegas, so we just have to have it drop shipped to me, and I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, DEF CON next year, 55-pound oil drum. Here we go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And about 5,000 googly eyes. We're set.
What?
Are you sending the Trevor Roaches too? Because I think I'm out of them. I've used them in many an art project.
I need to get one of those. Hopefully Trevor's still a thing when we're there.
Oh,
I saw Trevor Forget sticker the other day, so
nice.
God, I hope so. Because I'm bringing a needle felted Trevor for the Hackers for Charity auction, and I'm also bringing back Irongeek's beard. I'm finishing it. I'm finishing it up tonight. We got a Bucky skull for it. It's beautiful. We're gonna re-auction that too.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yep. So, where are we?
Who won the auction for Irongeek's beard originally?
Render did. So Render gave it to me and said, "Do what you're gonna do with it."
Nice.
Get into a Merkin.
Hey, is Render there this year? By the way, Adrian.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Actually, you know what? Look up his Twitter account, because I think he changed his Twitter handle to Render is going to be or is not going to be at DerbyCon. I remember seeing that the other day.
Hey, that's an easy way to know.
Because I want to know if the Church of Wi-Fi still stands.
Render Man?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The Church of Wi-Fi is fine.
Yeah.
Because I just talked to Evil Mog, and I might be indoctrinated as one of their new nuns.
Yeah, because I saw that on Slack.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Does that include celibacy as well? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, if you can combine celibacy and Wi-Fi, good luck.
Apparently, that includes like whipping people, and there's a couple of hazings that you're supposed to go through first. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how this week goes.
I
did manage to find a room though, not on the Jefferson side of the river. So at least I have somewhere to fall back to.
There you go.
No.
Okay, next up, let's go on down the list here. So next up is LoJack's UEFI rootkit found in the wild. So
I actually found this not through the podcast, but I was looking at it I think it was a couple weeks ago, or when it dropped. Yeah, interesting. But continue. Sorry.
Have you read up on it?
I started to, and then it got to the point where I almost fell asleep at my keyboard while I was reading the white paper, as it normally goes.
I mean, because UEFI, lower level, it's almost kind of like a tiny OS.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. It's boot level, and if you're able to infect that region, which is what this is able to do, because we've had a lot of proof of concepts in the past, but we never saw it fully implemented because it's really difficult to fully implement. You're going to have to get on somebody's system. You're going to have to gain some type of admin rights to the system and then execute the payload.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which all that isn't all that hard, but just getting the appropriate. I mean, Dell's going to be different from IBM from, all these different ones. So getting the appropriate one on the right system is difficult.
Is it specific towards a certain motherboard manufacturer at this point, or is it just like blanket, just anything running UEFI?
Oh, that's an excellent question, which I don't currently have an answer.
Because I remember looking at it, and I don't think it said anything on any specific things. It just said that it was in the wild, and they don't know if it's something that's targeted towards an exact board.
I mean, from reading through the article, at least this one in the wild appears to be potentially Russia, which, it's always Russia, or China, or Iran, or Brazil, or Israel, or it's not the U.S. ever.
No, I said it's never lupus.
It's never lupus. That is
never
correct.
Lupus.
Never.
It's an old house. It's an old house joke.
Yep, it's not lupus.
Definitely not lupus. Wasn't there one time on House that it actually was lupus?
Yes, it was, and it was the funniest episode ever because he's like, "Wait, it is lupus." It's never lupus. It's too rare. It's lupus. Damn it.
But the write-up that we threw in here, it's okay. It's not great. It was from the site welivesecurity.com. Don't know who they are.
Check out the white paper.
Definitely look up the white paper. Either Caprico or I will find that tonight.
It's in the article itself. If you go to download the research paper.
Yeah, the white paper from 2016.
Yeah. Which is on which goes through the concept of how the whole thing exploits and gets stuck inside of your motherboard's flash memory and all this other stuff.
Yeah, because that's the big thing with this is that it is fully persistent. If you are the unfortunate victim of this, I mean, you're done. You can. The only chance you may have is if you're able to flash the BIOS.
Right.
Get a new BIOS set on there. If not, you're done. You can reinstall a new OS over the top. Guess what? They're still lower than the OS. So, I mean, you're done. So
it reminds me of the old days when they used to put the stuff inside of the sound cards.
Oh yes,
remember those were some gnarly days trying to clean that stuff up.
Yeah, and that's been a while. I mean, I haven't seen that in quite a few years, actually.
Yeah, that was like 2000, 2001 for me. I saw that last summer.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. My guess was right. I was about 5.
Well, it's like I think most of that's because sound cards are all mostly built in now.
Yes.
Unless you're going for an exotic, some Dolby THC 25 6.1.3 or something,
Right.
Yeah, unless you're still like outputting to a television that does not have like HDMI inputs. You remember the old school?
I saw the mini disc player, so don't pick on me too much.
Well, there you go. I mean, but that was very specialized, especially in our realm.
Awesome.
Yes. I mean, they were cool. But I still had a DVD player.
That's one thing I don't have anymore. I don't have a DVD player.
Do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation?
No.
Or a Blu-ray player?
Do you have
I'm not a console. I'm a PC gamer. I'm not a console gamer.
Do you have a DVD-ROM hooked up to your laptop or desktop?
Actually, yes, that I do.
Knew it.
But I haven't used it in forever. I bought this neat little thing called a NIMBY. I don't know if you've ever seen it before.
I know of them, yeah.
NIMBY, it's for like $300 to $600. You can pick these things up. They're robotic disc loaders. And I ripped my entire DVD collection in about 2 days using that thing.
Nice.
And they're not, fantastically made. It ate maybe 2 discs. It has no real jam detection, so you got to listen for it to say, "Holy shit, this is yummy," and as it crunches the discs up. But I was able to go through a substantial DVD collection in like 2 days using that and some combination of DVD decoding stuff and ripping stuff and all that. But
I have like 12 terabyte of NAS space, and I just don't give a crap about DVDs anymore.
Well, I care about DVDs if I want to get quality, because I do my DVD collection. I did 1-to-1 ISOs, and I stripped out the nags, and I stripped out the you can't skip, and I dropped the 16 different languages that are in there to save space.
Yeah,
I mean, who needs to see Song of the South in Swahili?
That's how I watch it every time.
Oh, that was a trick question. You can't get Song of the South in the U.S. on DVD.
Hey, I got it in Pig Latin.
Ooh.
I know. That's sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just,
Feed my nipples!
Hey, that's what Song of the South does for me. What can I say?
When do we have a soundboard?
What soundboard are you using also?
It's a custom. I've got EXP soundboard. It's what I use when I play things like Team Fortress.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then I have an entire directory on my NAS full of samples that I've put together for this.
Nice.
Cool.
I've got one that nobody knows. No one knows the origin of it, and I do, but no one knows, and they just freak out when they hear it. Mm-hmm. And it's very exotic, and it's this. Oh, come on. First time loading it. It's going to be a bitch. Come on!
It has no origins, therefore it doesn't exist.
We love dog anus!
There you go.
What?
We love dog anus!
Yes, you heard that correctly. We love dog anus.
And YouTube banned.
Well, if you would like to find us on a platform, check out Irongeek_ADC for the next platform that we'll be on.
Yes, we will now be on Twitch. Thank you.
I'm sorry I've been distracted for the last bit. I've been talking to Simpo in here. I'm about to introduce him to Lena Dunham's father's artwork. So I'll be back in a bit. Y'all continue to cast about me.
Adrian, we apologize in advance for probably gonna get the channel banned.
Don't ban my channel, motherfuckers. I'm gonna go show this info. Lena Dunham's father's artwork. You all continue.
That is a mouthful for an explanation.
He's circumlocuting because we don't want to talk about if we're already skating along the edge of a ban, we don't want to talk about the subjects that her artwork covers.
Okay. Well, next up,
pardon me, but
yeah. Would you like to see some potentially very geeky stuff?
I saw that.
Yeah, but that's not like 100% cable porn. That's like
no, it's not cable. It's not at all.
That's like HBO types of stuff, right?
This is a first attempt at this. I read about this online earlier.
Yeah, it's
this
like
is
softcore.
Like a $5 piece of plastic pegboard.
Oh, nice.
And some zip ties. And it's not cable porn yet. This is my first attempt at it because this is actually the back of the home theater system that slides up into my bed. Like literally, I have a Dolby surround sound DVD, playback system inside of my bed, and so the wiring was atrocious. And I saw this, and I gave this a try. And yes, it's not cable porn. It's not perfect. I will get it to that level at some point as soon as I stop taking my meds. But I think this right here for a $5 piece of plastic really makes a sincere difference in cable management.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
I do want to point out too. Do you have enough tabs open? I mean, is 50 enough?
That's just one window, okay?
Israel, you do not want to see my screen after researching.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I have this weird OCD thing, where not OCD but ADD thing. So like, I'm working over here on Dante's Abacus.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm working over here writing the scripts for my comic books, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to show them this picture of the wire thing I'm trying to do, and it's just. By the way, what's the hourly rates for a contractor for Deloitte and Touche? Well, it's right over there.
You know what you need to know on a normal basis.
How many people got to see the national EAS test today?
I did.
Not me.
I mean, like the president we're like BFFs. We're tight.
I did a really evil thing today. I played the song "We'll Meet Again" from the end of Doctor Strangelove. If you started it exactly at 11:15, the song ended at 11:18 when the alert went off. So people were laughing and singing along to the song from the end of Doctor Strangelove, and all of a sudden they hear the two-tone burst. And oh man, that was fun.
I am happy to say my phone was on silent, so
lucky you.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Mine was. It was,
and great. I was working from home. It was rough.
Apparently,
oh, no, Jason.
Web dever's dream is always happening. Apparently, so I'm wondering about this. Apparently, my dad's phone did not get the alert today.
Well, that's because he's got a flip phone. Tell him to upgrade from his 1995 phone.
No, I do have one of those around here somewhere, but he is on I think it's a Galaxy. He's on one of the newer Galaxies. Not the newest one, but the previous gen. I think S7.
I'm on Galaxy Note 4, and it went off for me.
You sure it wasn't like a Huawei? Or how do they say it?
Huawei.
Huawei. Since they're all pissed off at our government right now. They're like, screw those alerts.
Yeah. Have you seen those phones, though?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen them around.
They're nice.
Yeah.
They're, super nice.
Like, half of them have been infected with malware straight from the factory.
Yeah, well, I mean, you buy it from China.
Oh, there it is. Here's the front. Here's what the front part of that rack looks like.
Ooh, sexy.
Nice. Purple glow.
Nice.
My rack's better.
That is one of the best racks I've ever seen.
My rack's better.
Your rack doesn't have an ozone generator in it. Mine does.
Ooh. I have a question.
My rack has an oxygen diffusion device built into it. I'm able to synthesize oxygen in my rack. And convert it to energy.
And not concentrate.
Oh my god, I can't.
All right, Greg, you had a question?
Yeah. So right now I'm installing a television antenna with my dad, and I mean we're like trying to like figure out like which cable goes to which television, which cable goes to what. It would have been so helpful if we labeled the different cables. Seriously, just wondering if that would help with UAP or anybody else's setup. If people do that, I don't know if that's like something that's done with cable management.
I do. I have an industrial cable labeler. The thing is, my stuff is broken out enough that I don't need to do that. Although I could do it, and I should do it in some cases. But the DJ system is over here. The radio station is over there.
Gotcha.
The movie viewers in my bedroom, in my bed, and like the rest of it. I haven't had a need to label it because I don't want anybody else to know what it is. I'm kind of going for that Gene Hackman in Enemy of the State look.
I love that.
I've got the cat. Okay, so I'm set there. I'm sort of in a warehouse style building. I'm set there. I've got 6 monitors up here.
Do you have your Faraday cage?
I'm working on that.
Nice.
I'm working on that. I actually wanted to make a fabric-based Faraday cage. There's this stuff you can buy online. It's like a fabric that has raw wire woven into it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna manufacture it under the name Gibsonite. So that all you would have
I can hack the Gibsonite.
All you would have to do is build a frame out of PVC and throw this fabric over it, and you would have an effective Faraday cage.
Make it into a pop tent. Get a tent frame.
I already have that.
Yeah.
I'll dig up the picture because a lot of people think that I'm insane, but yeah, I actually build this stuff for fun.
Real quick, Greg, on your items. So yes, there's multiple ways that you can tackle that. So just regular labeling on the cable at the splitter.
Okay.
2, take a picture of it, have it on your computer, label it digitally.
Okay.
And then whenever people are working with switches and such, you'll have a 24-port switch. So it's just a pain in the ass to label every freaking single wire that's in a switch. But it's the same concept.
It's a good thing to do, though. It is a pain in the ass, but it's a good thing to do.
It can be, but if you make a Vizio, or again, take a picture and label it out in a picture, then you have the same thing. But then you still have to update your Vizio, your picture, anytime you make changes to it. So there's trade-offs.
As a semi-retired knock monkey, I was a knock monkey before I was a sock monkey. When you've got both hands in a switch and you're balancing the switch on your knee and you're trying to find a cable, you can't just go to a Vizio. It's always good to have that label on the wire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're juggling 65 different things, you don't want to be looking things up, especially in Vizio. Let me suggest. I don't make any money off of this, and I don't want to. But Lucid Chart is doing me a lot more favors than Vizio.
A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper, and it's a lot less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of my Faraday cage. Well, will be Faraday cage.
Nice.
So he can sleep unimpeded by radio frequency.
Yep.
Now all you need is pumping the pure oxygen into it.
But how will the aliens talk to you? You need those messages. It's important.
Through
What if
osmosis.
the Dragon King wants you to come and help them or something? You need that.
Jim Morrison's dead, so.
Yeah, but Elvis isn't.
Well, yeah, but Elvis is still alive, so I don't need to communicate with him through anything. I just need to go down the street.
What if Walt Disney wants to contact you? That's important too.
Fuck that.
Hey, it is important. But
Walt Disney, Chim Chimney, I hate the Jews. I got no time for that.
Hey, I still like Mary Poppins, but we still need to move on.
Oh, have you seen they're making a sequel to it?
Yes.
The Mary Poppins sequel, and it looks the CGI looks very tight.
So that should be pretty good. We'll see. But we're going to move on to vulnerability of the week. We have Deus Ex Patches and Cappy.
All right. So Deus Ex Patches, or Man in I don't know. I made this up. Google patches 26 vulnerabilities in the Android framework. So this was a big one, and I'm gonna pull up just so that you can see their risk scores. The first article kind of describes it. The second link there is the actual bulletin that that Google sent out on Android Source, which I am going to be sharing now. Yeah, so across the framework, media framework, and the system itself for Android, we had a bunch of critical vulnerabilities, ranging from everything from DOS attacks to escalation of privilege to remote code execution, which basically is the entire thing. And like this was just when I saw this, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to look through every single one of these.
We'd actually like examples of everyone. If
There
you can
are
perform them live.
Yeah. I tried looking for some of the proof of concepts on here, and I think I had some that I found of previous ones from one researcher who I did not have enough time to look into to actually verify them. He had a bunch of stuff from 2017, which a couple of these, I think just this one. Just one of these was a known vulnerability from, I believe, late last year. So 9, and that was a critical remote code execution bug that has been present since version 7. And most of these go all the way back to version 7.0, and we're on 9.
Ouch.
So
nice.
You're looking for a phone, have fun. But my main discussion point when I was putting this up was I was wondering how Google was going to react, cellular providers weren't going to react to this, because from what I understand of how Android patches work for cellular providers, I can't talk today, is that for Android, it's governed by the cellular provider, so Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, what version of Android is out on their network, so that they can monitor and use, so that they can have that and service that. But with Apple, it's whatever Apple puts out for their iOS that is on their network. So cellular providers have to accommodate to what Apple says. So my worry is that if that's still the case, that cellular providers aren't going to be able to roll this out fast enough, and we'll actually see some of this stuff in the wild. Because this was caught by Google. Hopefully sooner than the rest of the world. And someone is playing Minecraft.
That would be me.
Yeah.
This one's a big one.
How many purely Google phones do we have left? Like that are pure Android?
Like
there's only like
manufactured by Google, or
yeah, but essentially just run Android OS with no extras. We only have like 2 now, right?
Mine's Android OS. I know AT&T updated earlier today because friends phones AT&T, so that they did a push. But I haven't gotten a push yet from Verizon.
Right, and I think Verizon's really slow to get those updates out, from what I remember. Because
they got to bake in their extra crap.
Yeah. I will say cautiously yes on whatever that is because I don't have any proof of that. But I will go with what you're saying. But yeah, each of these is any one of these, if it was discovered and made fully available to public or out in quotes the wild, this would have been really bad. And some of these have been out for a very long time.
Nice.
So, yay! And while I'm in the break, or off of this topic, I'm gonna try to see if I can find that researcher where he had he had a bunch of them. He had
POCs going for him.
Yeah,
for some of them.
Yeah. But yeah.
So did was that the researcher who originally found some of this?
I don't believe so. I think this was.
So he made POCs after the fact.
Well, I think he made. I think the thing is that these were old vulnerabilities. Like a lot of the stuff he had was from 2016, and so those CVs have been well known, but these ones I'm not so sure about. I'm gonna search through my history to find that GitHub link that I found. There it is, and see what he's got. Nice. Google foo. So the latest one he had is 0879 and yeah, no, this guy doesn't have it, but I'm gonna look for this at least this latest, oldest one.
No classical music.
Hey, real quick, Risky McDanger. I actually run. He's over on YouTube. Risky, I run a OnePlus. I don't think it's full, like stock Android. I mean, it's Android, but it's still got a little OnePlus baked into it. So if you know something different than I do, throw it over in the chat here and let me know. But I do like OnePlus. I mean, I won't use the fingerprint. I won't use the Face ID. None of that crap. But yeah.
Fun little trick for iPhone users that my iPhone having hacker. He found this cool little trick that if you hit so we talked about this before with using fingerprint and face scanning and whatever, and if you get it pulled over by the cops, they would have to ask you to take your fingerprint and stuff like that or whatever. If you click the iPhone power button 5 times, it will lock up your phone unless you give it a passcode.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. And that was actually smart by them, and that's one of the main reasons.
You're usually good on
that. Not the only reason, but one of the main reasons I won't use the face or the fingerprint. I mean, the face on here is so easy to bypass; it's not even funny. Right. But whenever it comes to cops, they can use you to unlock the phone, but they can't, without a court order, use what you know. So, face and fingerprint is you. And so they can use those without a court order. When it comes to something your PIN code, your whatever you have on there that is knowledge and not something physical, personal, to you, that requires an actual court order.
Now, what's there to say, oops, I can't remember my number?
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, if you're in Vegas, you'll get a Glock to the side of the head if you do that. But the thing is that if you say I can't remember what my passcode is right now because I'm afraid I'm going to be getting death by cop in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I freaking played the 5th. I don't remember what my passcode is.
I'll plead the 5th of what I'm
shaking. I'm not thinking straight.
That Minecraft? Are you playing vanilla?
I'm seriously vanilla. This is a vanilla server that a friend of mine runs.
Any chance I can get the IP? I'll jump on with you right now.
Yeah, it's creepershate.me.
Hold
on a second.
Chat.
Throw it over in side chat. If
I
you don't
gotta
want
look at
everyone in the potentially everyone in the world being on there.
By the way, I'm back in this.
It's creepershate.me.
Well, where are we in the show notes? Because I've been distracted. I was talking with Simpo about and DerbyCon stuff.
We were talking through vulnerability of the week.
Finishing that up. If you are very diligent and take all the CVE codes,
or if you're vigilant, either way.
Either that, you can either write these. It's like, hey, there's a vulnerability here. Let me look. Write your own thing, or you could probably find. I'm just trying to find some of these numbers some of these proof of concepts myself, and I'm trying to see if I can get to it quick enough here.
And if you do find some of them, even after the show, we'll add them over onto the show notes so people can look at.
Yeah, and I think I just found one that attached the Bluetooth stack.
Nice. Now, but were any of these remote code?
Yes.
You said a couple were RCs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, if you were to count all of them, let me just do
Was it RC over cellular or Wi-Fi or both?
I would say both. It would be, I think it would, they don't specify. All they say is RCE.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume over Wi-Fi or some sort of web interaction, because that's usually where they'll get you on these, or some sort of app interaction, where you'll even then you're getting on system anyway. Yeah, some interaction with an app to where where an attacker will throw its code at your phone, and then that guy's now your creepy uncle from your childhood that's now molesting your phone.
Uncle Bad Touch.
Oh no, that feels a little too personal for me.
Yeah.
My apologies for getting us banned.
But also too, guys, for those of you coming to DerbyCon, check out my talk at 9 a.m. Actually 9:30 a.m. If you're up on Saturday morning, I'm going to be talking about MHH, mental health hacks.
That's it.
What's that?
I don't even know what, I'm an organizer. I don't know what room that's in, but that is in the special mental health area.
Yes.
Who
with
else?
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda Berlin's running that one.
Yeah, she's running that one. Yeah, and basically, I'm just gonna go over an overview of just things that you can do to help improve just your overall life in general. No matter what, just pretty much just telling a little bit about my story and how, hopefully it can inspire others just to kind of, improve their day, make their day a little bit better, a little bit easier, no matter what they're going through. So that's why I call it MHH, mental health hacks. Just a couple of hacks that can kind of help improve. Because, usually when you're going through a lot of these, your problems in life, a lot of people will quickly tell you to go get a therapist. But therapy is not for everybody, just like college is not for everyone. You know what I mean?
And also, therapy can have some negative effects on your at work. Exactly.
So I'm, just different things like that. And I feel I just wanted to speak out on it because a lot of, I know everybody talks technical, how to bypass this, how to bypass that, and that's great. But how do we bypass life? How do we make our life a little bit easier? How do we bypass the things that, antagonize us on a daily basis from a mental
Automatic
standpoint?
weapons work for me.
Well, that doesn't get the job done for everybody. But
we actually just had this whole discussion on emotion management issues in our meeting tonight. Because we're doing wraparound for our kid, which means that everyone's on board and it includes extra help for the parents. And so tonight's discussion was how to cope with anxiety and strong emotions. So
nice.
Which I can get into that a little bit deeper, like in person later, if you guys want to ask me, because I had to go grab my notes too. So, but it was interesting because basically she's like, typical anger management and this kind of techniques, people tell you to do this, and you end up just bottling it further. She's like, She goes, let it out. She goes, you need to let it out. But yeah.
Sideline, Mary. Mary, are you going to be crashing in my room?
I have a room tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so we should be good unless you need me there someplace really early, and then we'll see how that goes.
That's cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a suite this year, and I only have 2 people staying with me. So I have 2 beds, but someone's got the floor. If you came in, someone else would have to take the floor. So yeah, if
I can sleep on the floor. That's fine, but because we're stuck with that too. Because the only room that I could get was a single queen, and we got 4 people. So,
bro, I'm at the with the AC. It's just me and Cap. Cap might have to sleep on the couch just there.
I have air mattresses. If you guys need me to bring both of them, I can bring.
Unfortunately, I don't have a suite this year, so I'm not sure where we're going to do MeadCon. We have to figure something out.
Yes, we need to find that out.
Yeah, why don't we just do it in the lobby? You think they'd mind? We can take it to the Hyatt. Someone's got to have a suite at the Hyatt.
Yeah, everything's kind of find that out. And then I do have a couple items, Charles, in regard to the mental health workshop that will be in the Bluegrass room.
Okay.
Essentially, all the mental health things will be. If anybody needs the schedule, we have the app, which was courtesy.
Is that the Hacker Tracker?
Yep, Hacker Tracker. Whitney Chapman, shout out to her for getting all the DerbyCon schedule on there, which was awesome. And then Dim Keys asks, are DerbyCon talks recorded and uploaded? Yes. They will be on Irongeek.com. And Adrian, what's the time frame normally for the talks being up? Within 1 week or so?
Oh, shit, dude.
What's the time?
No pressure.
A couple days if I don't have the bandwidth. If I have the bandwidth, I try to get them up within a few hours after the talk's done.
Okay.
He's really quick. He's very quick.
That's what all the women tell me.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I said, but no, he's good people.
He's good people. He's quick on the draw, and he's good people.
Let's say quick and to the point, right? Quick draw McGraw. Ooh.
Oh, now that takes me back.
Yeah, McGraw. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Luckily, I have minions.
That's right, Dim Keys. He doesn't waste no time. He's on. He's like white on rice. He's on.
Yeah, I used to watch the Cartoon Express on USA.
Oh man, I used to watch that when it was first on before before any of those cable channels existed.
Yeah, because USA all night for the scary movies.
Yes,
with Elvira.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Elvira was awesome.
Either that or Gilbert Godfrey.
She was the Queen of the Night.
It's sad. I think I was a little perved back then because Elvira had her top out.
Yeah, because she wore what? She
cleavage
as Elvira, right? I think she was actually a blonde.
Yeah, she had the top up. All night. And
I don't remember what her hair looked like. I never saw her hair.
It's like Marge Simpson, like a big bouffant.
Yeah, big dude. Yeah, big hair.
Like the Bride of Frankenstein type thing going. She had giant tits on the top, lots of cleavage, tight little black bat dress, like Morticia Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bright red lipstick. She's still doing it. She's still doing cons, you know.
Oh yeah.
Wow. She's still working it.
Oh, she's like a redhead. Like, I don't know, maybe redhead, but some of the pictures look kind of like a redhead.
Costume, it's black. It's like that Bride of Frankenstein black hair.
Yeah, because I remember we couldn't wait for her to say "oh" and see the stuff jiggle all night. me and my little cousin.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. I look back on that now. I'm like, that was terrible. That and then we used to watch the opening of Bold and the Beautiful when the lady, like, they showed a little quick clip where the lady shows her boobs. I was like, oh, well, it's just like a half of it. You don't even see the areola. Where we was like, oh my god,
side boob.
Yeah.
Were you the guy who sat there staring at the encrypted TV signal you know, and trying to see a piece of body part every now and then.
You know what? I was just, me as a kid, I was a daydreamer, but my dreams were, I felt like they were real.
I mean, when I was a kid, we had the Sears catalog. I mean,
But you're talking to a kid who used to think he was Peter Pan from Fox and Peter Pan and the Pirates. Like,
man.
Yeah.
Okay, look, to be honest, I did the same damn thing.
Okay, I'm gonna seriously date myself here. Okay.
My best ride home was like that, just imagining that shit.
Yeah.
My goal was to be Frank Heflin.
No idea who that is.
This is way before your time. Back in the bad old days, in the 70s.
It was back when the first season of Lucy was on.
Yeah.
Before I was born.
There was a Saturday morning show called the Croft Super Show. And it was composed of like little 15-minute serial shows with different themes and such. One of those was called Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, which was kind of like a Batman and Robin kind of thing, except with female leads.
I remember this in rerun though, so I remember.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, in their secret cave was a guy named Frank Heflin, and he made all of their super gadgets and super cars and wrist lasers and stuff like that. And that's what I wanted to be.
You know who was an awesome superhero? Speaking of the old school, Plastic Man and Baby Plaz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That goes back a while.
Plastic Man.
I used to watch it on Saturday mornings. I was like, "Oh, Plastic Man!" And then the monster will always talk like this. That's how the little monster used to talk. I was like, "Oh," and of course, Scooby Doo.
I love Scooby Doo.
Raggy, you're a rascal.
Oh gosh, I can't do it.
I'm mad I can do the voice.
For Scooby-Doo movies, the person they got to play for the Scooby-Doo movies, as bad as some of the two may be, Matthew Lennard as Scooby-Doo, as a Shaggy, was the perfect fucking choice. There was no other human being who could play Shaggy in real life like Matthew Lennard could.
Yeah. Especially, it's just hard to view him after watching Scream. I'm like, Billy.
Yeah, that's true. The typecasting hurts, but dude, whatever,
He was good, though. He was a good Shaggy. He was a good Shaggy. Yeah, but
sorry.
But no, but yeah, so the Marriott's just gonna take some getting used to because everybody's so used to the Hyatt. They had suites, and I think this year is just kind of like you said, an evolution. Well, it's changed. Well, I saw the hoodies and stuff online, but it looks like there's gonna be a change because everybody's kind of all over the place, Oh, yeah.
Does anyone have the map of what's going on pulled up yet, or any kind of stuff just to kind of do a quick review?
I'm not sure the map's online. It's a pamphlet, but I don't know if it's online.
Okay.
Trying to see the hacker tracker right now. Make sure my Uber's in place for getting to the airport. I guess Jacob.
Scenario, man, I got a car. Okay, I'm driving. If you need something, I have no problem running you down there.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about getting to the airport in DC.
Oh well,
and then from DC.
I'd have to leave right now.
Yeah, I'm flying out of Dulles. It's a non-stop flight, so it's no stops. Hey Cap, are you driving or flying? I can't remember. Cap? I guess he's on mute. But so I'm like I said, I'll be there like 10 something in the morning tomorrow. I leave at 8 something.
Like the second that you asked him, so he's off. He'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm just glad I don't have to do any stops because I just like to get to where I'm going and then
me too. Some shit.
Get situated at the hotel.
And the thing about Louisville is generally most places you go. No, DC is not bad. Las Vegas ain't bad.
Yeah.
But most places you go, depending on what there's always an extra hop.
Yeah.
Now here's an interesting question. I know you just got there, but what about the room search thing that they had in Vegas? Do you think you're going to see that out there?
I doubt it. This is Louisville. We never have a previous year. Though granted, the biggest thing happened. I think after DEFCON. DerbyCon last year. We don't generally have that in Louisville area, and as far as just got here. I mean, I live in the Louisville area. We're less. Fuck it. Look, Kentucky's an open carry state, so
yeah,
we're pretty chill. And
but I'm just saying, but they're not gonna, because sometimes it depends on who owns the hotel. If it's a Caesar's property, you may have them coming in there poking around looking for stuff.
I'm not sure what the connection is, but it's a Marriott property, so I'm not sure. I think everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's important because
this even come in when I say through the door. Yeah, come in. Because I had the lady who came in to clean the room. I actually had to open the door for her and say, "Yeah, come on in, clean shit up. I'm fine. It's good."
It's just that if it doesn't happen at any other con and it happened at DEF CON alone, that could be very interesting come next year.
I'm pretty sure it's mostly going to happen at DEF CON alone. Las Vegas is an entirely different kind of thing. I don't think it's going to happen at most other conferences. Then again, I mean, the biggest con I do anymore is DerbyCon now, because Las Vegas. I don't go to DEF CON. I only have ever attended pretty much. I don't have to really do anything. I've never been to Hope and don't really plan to go to Hope.
I'm good on Hope.
Hope is. I worked 3 or 4 Hopes.
It's just not the same anymore.
I haven't been to one of the. I haven't been to New York in 10 years now.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just I don't know. Can I just say people just break the law there?
At Hope or in New York?
At Hope. Well, we know New York, but at Hope, it's just like, oh my god, that can't be legal type talk.
Oh come on, there's all kinds of stuff that happens at DEF CON that that can't be legal.
Well, that too, but I'm just saying with I don't know, just Hope. I don't know.
Since when did you go to a hacker convention and say, "Oh, I can't do that; it's not legal"?
Never, but
yeah, I mean,
but no, I'm just saying in general, it's just the vibe. I guess maybe the crowd, the vibe, and the stench. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. And like I said, like the last Hope I went to, it smelled like pee and animal poop. And people were just...
Well, that's just New York.
Well, that's just that hotel, because remember, they also, the next week after that, they hosted the AKC Westminster Dog Show.
Oh, that's
right. No, some people... Now, there were some people that were there, but they just straight up didn't bathe. Let's
oh, yeah.
Call it like it is.
Now, you see, at DEF CON, they'll pick you up and throw your ass in the pool. At least they used
to. They need to. Yeah.
They used to do that, but they can't. They don't do that's against the cock now.
Fuck their cock, man. Or don't fuck their cock, because it sounds like it's a stale, flappy, flaccid cock.
Yeah, I mean...
I was telling people to deep tech and tossing their asses in the pool.
AP,
yep.
My cock.
Why, what now?
Are you against my cock?
Well, I'm not against it, but I'm sort of next to it. I'm not on top of it.
Sounds like you putting pressure on it.
Well,
See what doesn't get me is this dumbass named Sage Sharp who thought that the hashtag cock smells was a good idea.
Oh my god.
Smells.
Carl is perfectly clean rooster, and he does not smell like anything more than a beautiful feather bed. So how dare he?
So reckless.
I have a question. How much does DerbyCon cost? Is it like $120 or something like that? I thought I saw.
I don't even remember.
$175.
Okay, cool.
75.
Yeah, because I went to HopeCon this year, and I think it was around the same price. But I mean, DerbyCon has like live music and stuff like that, and it seems really like much cooler compared to HopeCon personally.
Here's your solution for that problem.
Warning: do not do.
I have like an industrial heavy plastic OSHA warning sticker printer.
See, people shit the hacker cons about being smelly. I'm sorry. I've been to DEF CON many times and many other hacker cons. No, they have nothing on gamer cons. I've gone to Origins. Origins and Gen Con. Gen Con is the worst as far as smell I've encountered.
Damn.
Well, I can make you a bunch of these stickers, and you can,
Yes, or yes. That's probably.
I would take
honestly,
that.
DerbyCon's not that bad. I mean, those really belong at pretty much everything else.
Now, DerbyCon, I didn't have that experience, but I did have that hope.
Yeah, DEF CON definitely.
And Carolina Con one time. Carolina Con.
You need this one for hope.
Oh. Pull it up again. What did it say?
That's just wrong.
Do not dispel. Oh my gosh.
I'm done. Somebody put that on the back of their laptop, please.
Oh, I've got laptop ones like this.
That one's fine.
Although one of my favorites came out really nice. It was this one.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, I got a question. Speaking of hackers, has anybody used the hacker boxes? I've seen. I don't know if anybody's had those or whatever.
I keep wanting to order one of those, and then I always end up in some kind of, I've got to pay a bill instead, or something.
Yeah, so I was just curious if anybody's ever had them, and how good are they? Are they fun, or
There you go. That one's for you.
E.T. going home.
Oh.
This one I've sold more of than any other sticker so far.
Nice.
Fun times. So the hacker dinner's on Friday.
Yeah, it looks like I may not be able to go because they said it for 6, but it looks like video doesn't end until 8. So fuck.
We just won't be going. We get something afterwards.
It's all right, Adrian. I will stick it out with you because I'm
a
person like that.
Dude, I'm with the video crew. So if the video crew didn't go to the dinner, me no go.
We'll have our own party. Although last I checked, it looked like that dinner was completely sold out at the pizza place. Like when they posted the link, there was already
It was at a pizza place. It was at Troll Under the Bridge, which is a cool little pub. It's a cool looking little pub.
Is there going to be any goth girls there?
What's that?
Nothing. No. Is there going to be any goth girls there?
Probably. I don't know.
I just ain't messing with no smash burger.
No, God, no.
You want a good burger? There's a place that's right next to Troll Under the Bridge. It's right there next to the second bridge. It's some name. It's based on legal stuff. It's basically crap. Everything is like, I had something called. Fuck, I didn't look at the restaurant. Everything is legal themed, as if you're part of a legal association. And I think I had something like a death penalty or something like that hamburger, and it was so good. I need to look the place up. Y'all continue. I'll figure this out.
What's the name of that pizza place? You had to go down the steps.
Oh, I don't remember that either. That's good too. Spinelli's or something?
Spinelli's? I think it's Spinelli's.
That place is good.
Yeah.
2 blocks over and then towards the river, and then it's like down.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this is great.
It's a good little hole in the wall. It's a really good little hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell, I made a DerbyCon map a couple years ago. I'm going to link this in the chats. But it's a couple years old. But it gets you in the general area. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there was a place called something like Spinelli's. I need to work this map out again because this one is from a couple years ago. It's hard to believe this is the 8th fucking DerbyCon. That's pretty amazing.
Bro, I started coming at DerbyCon 4. One of my friends, Branson, dude named Branson, put me. He said, "Dude, you need to take yourself to DerbyCon." This is when I was at ShmooCon. He said, "I don't care where you go," and he was just telling me about it. He was like, "Hey, Go to DerbyCon. You won't regret it. And sure enough, man, I've been going since family roots.
Oh, I found it out. Sidebar. I'm pretty sure it's the Sidebar. Is the name of this restaurant. It's right next to the 2nd Street Bridge, which is also known as the Clark Memorial Bridge.
Uh-huh.
And man, they make a good hamburger.
How many people do you guys expect to be at DerbyCon?
About 3,000.
Okay.
3,000?
That's a good number though. That's not too big.
That's a great number.
That's a nice, comfortable number.
Yeah.
What band we got this year? Or has it been announced officially?
Offspring and Vanilla Ice.
I'm up for Offspring. Are we going to play the Vanilla Ice movie before? Because I made a mistake of watching that on MST3K, and it's horrible.
Is it like a biography of Vanilla Ice's life or something like that?
Possibly. You should watch it sometime. Train wreck from the beginning.
That's cool. And I know Dual Core is going to be there.
Oh, damn, Dual better be there. That's the best act we got ever.
And Infected Mushroom. I like Infected Mushroom.
Yeah, I like Infected Mushroom.
I do too. Totally.
Well, how many of you have the Jose Juarez album?
What's that? What did you say again?
The Jose Juarez album.
I have that in my MP3 archive.
Jose Juarez is coming to town.
It's in my archive.
I actually got a comment the other day for the song "We the Hackers." It just it was lots of 111 exclamation point 11. Dude, this is awesome.
Hey, are they gonna be recording any talks at the mental health workshop?
Not to my knowledge, it hasn't been requested. The thing about that particular subject matter is a lot of people probably won't want to be on video. Right. I do have at least a 6 recording rig that could be set up if needed. It's just a matter of getting my white ass out to do it and set it up.
Adrian, if that thing would be really helpful. So if anyone wants to do it, I can volunteer to cover if you have enough coverage otherwise.
But they might not want to be on video, like he was.
My rule is recording is we always ask first.
But if someone requests it and they give me a couple hours, I can get something set up. So talk to Amanda or Amanda Sullivan is I forget, maiden versus married name. I'm confused. Info's sister. Yeah. Ask her if she wants me recorded, something recorded or something set up. I can probably set it up. Just I just need a couple hours notice.
Yeah. I didn't know if they were,
The plan was not to record anything there. I would have to be notified of it, but I could.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just asking if it was. I mean, I would understand because that's a sensitive subject, So, well, I hope they're ready for me at 9:30 because I'm a live wire. I already told Amanda. I said I am a morning person, so I hope everybody has their coffee.
I will be there. I will be naked, so be prepared.
Hey.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
I just realized something, Charles. I'm staying with you, and I am not a morning person.
Okay, I promise to tone it down. I won't say anything until you do.
That's fine. I'm just like, oh boy, I'm gonna be getting up in the morning.
Yeah, no, I promise I won't be singing.
Okay. Looking up the nearest.
Yeah, really. Oh my god.
Looking up the nearest Costco to buy a 36 pack of Monster Energy drinks.
Yeah,
Tappy. As long as you're wearing clothes, Charles should be good with you.
Yes.
I'm not worried about Charles. It's me. Just being like, God damn it, Charles! It's 3 in the morning.
See, that's the thing. Charles is so happy. You just want to watch his non-happy side.
Look, I'll be singing Laverne and Shirley in the morning.
Doing it our way.
Yeah.
Adrian, I think we found a home for that 6-camera rig because that sounds hilarious.
We did it our way, making our dreams come true. Woo!
Nah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait, man. I'm super amped. I've been at DerbyCon in my mind since Monday. Come out of here.
This is my first time going, so this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Because I was like, oh, because Monday got here, I said, yeah, well, in my mind, I'm already at DerbyCon. People were talking to me, I'm like, hey, how's it going?
People are like, he's weirder than usual.
Yeah. In the meeting, I'm just pretending that the keynote has started.
Office life revolves around the conference.
I was looking at pics on Twitter, people posting stuff. Dave talking about the calm before the storm. I'm tweeting by the minute. I'm like, retweet. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be really awkward if I miss your talk because I'm staying with you. Just be like,
I'm gonna be up. No, I'm gonna be up because, like I said, with the helping to do video and everything, you know. So I'll be live.
Just have him preview it with you, and then you can miss the talk.
Oh, okay, no. I'll come help. I gotta do something to help out. Guys letting me take up a spot in his hotel room, so we're good.
Of course. Mikasa Sukasa.
Sat on stream, everyone's like, okay.
Don't worry, you'll be paying. You'll really be paying.
I'm expecting ice.
He sounds scary. I didn't say that.
I'm expecting ice. A lot of ice, and not vanilla ice.
I just the idea of Vanilla Ice performing at a HackerCon is just short-circuiting parts of my brain.
That's what I thought when I heard it too.
When I heard you say that he's performing, I'm like, wait, is this a joke? Who's really gonna do it? You know?
No, it's Vanilla Ice and Offspring are playing DerbyCon.
No,
what?
When
When
Method Man and Redman came that year.
No.
Well, no, and last year when Dumbass didn't even show up, we still had a better concert.
Oh, Busta Rhymes? He sucks. He's lame.
I assume the whole Trevor the Roach thing was named because Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, that's Busta Rhymes' real name. It's Trevor Smith.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice. I thought it was just okay. Cool. Learned something new about Trevor today.
And he deserves every leg and whisper of that roach.
That shake was meant for him.
Mm-hmm. Had everybody drinking all that Fireball. I saw the layout. I said, "Oh
man,
Fireball!"
I wanted to cry, and I wasn't even there, and I wanted to cry. I was like, "Oh."
So far, remember our cast from last year's DerbyCon? How much drama was going on at the same time?
Oh my goodness!
Not nearly as much as this year, though. Last year on the cast, we got kind of rowdy, and I had to actually make the cast private.
Oh my God!
Wow. I mean, you gotta watch Charles. I mean, he just goes off the chains once in a while.
I know Charles has been here for a long time. I mean, almost from the beginning.
Yeah, man. I've been well behaved.
You were on the cast last year at DerbyCon, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Okay, yeah, we were showing. we were
going through some things.
Not good.
Going through some things.
Something that demonetization.
Yeah, that cast from last year's DerbyCon would never have been monetized. That was bad.
It was some wild stuff going on. That's all I can recollect.
That's all you remember. Something wild happened, and I don't remember.
Yep.
Sounds like Europe to me.
Recollect. That's all I can recollect.
By the way, I just want to announce that sometime Saturday night, I think Stacey Banks is going to make an appearance at DerbyCon, even though she finished at in Tampa.
Wait, she's coming to Derby?
Well, no. Well, some version of Stacey Banks will be at DerbyCon.
What do you mean some version?
Stacey Banks and
Wait, let me give you a preview.
Is she a hologram?
That's what I was going to say.
One of those little telepresence robots.
Stacey Banks would have gained at least 100 pounds and probably 2 feet in height. But
Wait, I'm going through the schedule. I totally missed. No, what?
well, she will have gained probably 100 pounds and 2 feet in height. But
Okay. Don't do that. That's like what? F. Oh, do you want me? Yeah, I can bring my half-done hedgehog.
That looks like a Christmas sweater that your grandmother made for you with like 3 arms and no head hole.
Adrian, you said she must have gained what? She gained a lot of weight.
That's the feeble.
Because he's going as a hedgehog. That's what that threw me off too. Because I wasn't paying attention.
There we go.
Oh, okay, I see.
Playing Stacey Banks is what he's saying.
You get it now?
Yeah.
Stacey Banks will be making an appearance Saturday night.
Miss Banks, it's great to be in your presence.
And like a foot and a half taller, but
Miss Banks. Miss Banks, it's great for your presence to bless us with. She's part of the Church of Wi-Fi.
We try to do what we can.
Yeah. You know who? I just saw Random Man's tweet. He did a drink for Rants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the White Russians. Rants is big on White Russians.
Yep.
I am too. They are.
Man.
Nice.
They're not a bad drink.
No.
If you have alcohol, if you're an alcoholic that has acid reflux, it definitely is a not bad drink to have.
Yep.
You know what?
That was the apartment drink when they found out that or my roommates found out that I am basically the dude.
You said I'm the dude. Hey, I'll tell you right now, I am not the dude, but I enjoy. You know what? I sip and I just coast. So sipping for me is like floating on cloud 9. So if the clouds look like they have smiles on their faces, yes, I'm there. I'm all the way there.
Or you're high.
Yeah. I'm high, but I'm high, but I don't smoke.
No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
Watch this cast, all things considered. Don't let this out on the internet. But here was the general plan. I got this costume originally because I was going to show the
bro, you're live.
I was
still live.
Go to what was that?
You're still live.
I know I am.
Oh, okay.
Here's the plan with this costume. Originally, I was going to go into one of Stacey's talks, and just before I was going to record, like, okay, Stacey's giving a talk in here, but I don't want to make her like feel uncomfortable or anything, so I'm going to dress up as one of a kind and sneak into the room, and then have someone record me coming into the room, sit down in one of her talks, dressed up like this.
Oh my God!
But unfortunately, I've had this costume for almost a year, and she hasn't given a lot of talks because of whatever her current job is. So I'm basically, since she can't make DerbyCon this year, I'm going to run around and get pictures of people and say, hey, I took a picture of Stacey Banks, and instead of being Stacey Banks, it's me. So that's the plan. So if you take a picture of me while I'm in the hedgehog costume, don't tweet me with it necessarily. Tweet at Stacey Banks.
All right.
Say that you took a picture of Stacey Banks.
I like it.
Okay, I like it.
That's the game plan.
Okay.
All right, that's the whole origins of this costume. I think it's still kind of cool. And finding a hedgehog costume that's big enough for me to fit in is kind of difficult, but I found it. So
nice.
You have made it, sir.
And just the PSA: no hedgehogs were killed in the making of this costume.
Yeah, as far as I know, a lot of cotton or something.
Speaking of which, I took my daughter to the Fairfax fair. They had a little animal fair, and there was a hedgie there. And I thought about you, Adrian. I was like, they had a little hedgie, and he like opened up his little arms. I was like, oh, you would have loved it.
Probably would. I like all the hedgies. Now this one, Now, the African pygmy hedgehog is my favorite just because that's the one you see most as pets. But there's a bunch of other ones like the Egyptian long-eared and the Indian long-eared. And even the European hedgehog is pretty cute.
No, this was the African pygmy one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I
it's
said.
the most common domesticated one you find around the United States.
Yeah. I think that's the only one, right?
What's that?
That's the only one, right? And as far as like the United States is concerned, right?
I think they've domesticated a few of the other ones, like maybe some of the long-eared ones and the Algerian. But yeah, most commonly when you find a hedgehog pet, it's almost always an African pygmy.
But you know what's amazing about them? They can absorb so much venom. It's crazy. They they eat they can eat scorpions, and they can eat like even if the scorpion stings them, it doesn't affect them because of their body type.
And they do weird things like anointing. Like a hedgehog would find a new substance it's not encountered before. It would chew it up in its mouth and then lick all of its spines with this substance. I'm not sure if it's camouflage or if it's trying to poison its quills or what it's doing.
But I know one thing. It was serious. I said, oh, Hedgie. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, fun times. What? Sorry, playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
All good.
Oh.
How is that?
I just started. Yeah, I just pushed A to start the game.
Got so distracted. I pressed A.
Just press A. When all else fails, just press A.
Press F to pay respects.
Yeah, I'm charging up my Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
That console seems to have taken off. I was listening to someone's review of like there's a bunch of games for a previous Nintendo console that didn't take off that have gotten ported to the Switch because the Switch is a far more popular platform. I don't remember what the other one was, and apparently it led to the whole Bowsetta meme, which I still don't understand totally.
Here's the thing. With the retro game team, like they have Switch Arc. They have Arc for the Switch, but you have to be able to play homebrew games in order to do like the old school games and everything else. I got to get another Switch to do that because the one I have now is kind of I slipped up and updated to the latest firmware, so I have to wait a while to get the homebrew back on. But it'll be probably within a month or so. But the cool thing is the thing I'm really waiting on is Crunchyroll for the Switch.
Oh yeah.
If they get Crunchyroll on the Switch, oh my god.
Well, I thought that would have been a launch app. I don't know.
They got Hulu. They have Hulu for the Switch.
Ah, there you go. That's probably why. So I think
Hulu.
I think Hulu's got. Doesn't Hulu have some anime on it?
A little bit, but it's not enough to suit my needs. I
actually just finished watching Desert Punk on it, so yeah.
Yeah. That was one that I think I started a while ago and never finished.
So I gotta, like I said, if they put Crunchyroll on, it's really gonna be over. I'm like, oh my god, like, yep. Yeah, because I have Crunchyroll on my Xbox, PS4. I just need it on the Switch to be mobile, and on my phone too. It's on my phone.
Reminds me, I need to charge my tablet and my headphones before I go to bed tonight, so that I have it in the flight.
Yep.
So who are people from the cast that's going to be at DerbyCon? So apparently, of course, Charles is going to be here in live beef because they're both on video crew. James hasn't been on the cast for a while, but James is here as video crew. The Caprico is going to be here as well. Israel's going to be here as an attendee. Anybody else I'm forgetting? Oh,
I'm going to be there to work.
Very.
Yeah, I'm there.
Evie?
Yeah, I may be actually working a little. We'll see.
Is it Evie coming?
Evie's coming too. Yeah, that's right. Evie's not making this on the cast today, but yeah, Evie's going to be here.
Yeah.
She keeps threatening to hug me.
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna wear that pointy costume. I don't know if she'll be able to.
I think it's more of a promise than a threat.
Yeah, it's a promise.
Constantly joking about helicopter rides for it, but.
Well, yeah, because the only one that's on this cast that's met me in person is Adrian.
Might be what now?
Huh?
The only one that might be Adrian. What?
I said the only one that's met me in person so far on this cast is you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's because he's the only one who can handle you.
Oh my god.
I'm sure I met you at some derby cons before, but the first time I'm cognizant of meeting you in person was at that B-Sides in the DC area. B-Sides Nova?
Nova, yep. B-Sides Nova. Yup. Oh, and at my job, we had a new guy start. Apparently, he's a huge fan of yours because he's like, "Have you ever heard of Irongeek.com?" I said, "Yeah. I do a podcast with him every Wednesday." He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, "I'm serious." So, holy shit! I think he's gonna be at DerbyCon too.
Cool.
Nice.
This guy named Jalen. He just started like last week.
Yeah, Jack's going to be here, of course. I believe. Yeah. Jack did say he was going to be able to swing by, right?
Jack is going to be there. Ricky's going to be there. Last I checked. Trying to think of who else.
Howley's not going to be able to make it.
Yep. Howley had something come up.
Yeah.
So our VR hacker isn't going to be there.
Yeah.
I think that covers it for all of us that are going to be there.
Yep.
Cool beans. That's actually that might even be a majority of the real regulars.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm too amped to sleep. I can't sleep.
Actually, I don't have problems sleeping anymore. And I slept very little. I had a good night's sleep last night, but tonight probably not so good. And I have a weird time when I don't have to do video until probably not would be till 7 or 8 tomorrow before they actually have in place for me to set up my video equipment. Hopefully it works out well. I tested it good on 3 of the rigs. And I got it all functioning. Hopefully I'll be able to get it functioning again. But now I don't remember what adapter I hooked to what, because there's one of the adapters I have to hook to the USB hub to make it work. You only have to hook direct, and
no.
I got also push comes to shove. I have access to last year's book.
Okay.
You know what else is crazy? Like last night I was binge watching Family Ties. I'm up to season 3. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. The theme song popped in my head, and I just hopped on Amazon Prime, and oh my goodness.
That's just evil.
Wonderful. Adrian, what time do you need help starting with setup tomorrow? Because I want to make sure that I'm down there in time.
See, that's why I don't know what time we're doing setup, and ultimately a lot of stuff I have to hook up for setup. But by the way, when you're doing setup at GoCom, you know which adapter I said you have to hook up to the camera and to the US and to the hub?
I know them by looking at them. So because I helped you pack them, so I can, as long as they haven't been moved around too much. Have you gone anywhere since GoCon?
No.
Okay, then however we packed them, we packed them in everything in that one case with everything is all the stuff, and I'm pretty sure I can pinpoint which one it is.
Just to figure it out, because and this year, see, the new laptops I ordered, they were 14 inches, so it means I can fit more in the same case. But they didn't come with Ethernet built in, so I have these USB-C adapters that are also USB hubs. And Aaron was like, "Well, we can send them back." I'm like, "No, I really like these. I can't find anything else that's an i7 for this price, with this amount of memory." And I got a good deal from Lenovo. And I don't know, you had to work with them. I know you still like your mouse, but the mouse pad's better on these than it was on the Asus's I had before, right?
I'm still gonna bring my mouse with me.
All right.
Yeah, just because for me it's faster because But and we were wondering if putting everything on the same side of the laptop was affecting quality or not. But I guess that's still something to test.
Yeah, we'll still go test audio sync. You had some ideas about changing that, but I'm not sure.
I play with OBS a lot, so it's like we kind of were messing around. The other thing that a couple of us that were doing GurkCon were wondering is if you separate the USB buses so that I know it's neater if it's all on one side, but we're thinking it might be faster and more efficient for the laptop if you split it to two separate sides.
We tried two separate sides last time. One of the adapters I couldn't get to work until I hooked it up to the hub that was plugged into USB-C, which is on the same side as one of the USB-A's that is USB 3.
Where the camera was coming in, so I don't know.
So the reason I did that was I couldn't get it to recognize properly.
We also, I know there's some OBS stuff that's tweaky, but I don't know. Well, anyway, if I'm there by 6 o'clock tomorrow night, that we should have time to start, running through tests.
Yeah, actually, plenty of time because I don't think they'll have my tables set up by 6 o'clock.
All right. Well, I'm going to shoot to be down there about 5 so I can get checked into my hotel, and then we'll head over to Louisville.
Okay, dokie.
Yeah, but I'm right across. I'm at that first. Yeah, I'm only 7 minutes out. I'm just across the bridge.
Okay, you're at the Louisville hotel. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, on the weekends, 4th Street Live, at least in the past, has been free parking. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
4th Street Live parking might be free.
Well, how much is the parking at the Marriott, or do you have to have?
I don't recall, but they're ultimately going to pay for it, so I haven't cared.
I know at the Hyatt, what we used to do is we used to come in and park on the roof and then just not move the car and sneak out on Sunday. But I can't do that this time because I got to be back and forth over the river. So
sneak out on Sunday.
Well, there was no ticket system at the gate. Like the first 2 years we were there, and there was no attendant on Sundays. So they just opened the things up and you just left.
Yep.
Oh well.
We shall make it work.
We'll do the thing. I mean, I suppose worst case scenario, it looks like there is a walking path. I could bike, but that seems like an awful sketchy area of Jeffersonville. So I'm like,
Is that really a bad part of Jeffersonville? I mean, Jeffersonville, I used to live in Jeffersonville. It doesn't seem hugely crime-ridden, and there's certain parts that smell like sewer because of the waste treatment plant. But is Jeffersonville really that bad in any place?
I have no idea. It's just that it's down by the train tracks, and it's I don't know. So I mean, if you're telling me that's perfectly safe, I
used to live next to the projects in Jeffersonville. Yeah, we got some toys stolen when my brother tried to sneak some toys in by throwing them across the fence, and never mind, it's a fucked up long story. But Jeffersonville, I don't think it generally seems too crime prone in general. And I grew up on Knobloch in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Well, if anyone's crossing the bridge anyway and wants to pick a couple of saps up to drop us off, that's fine too. And I think the fewer cars that end up over there are probably safer. But,
hey, you guys ever watch Live PD or seen it?
I think seen it.
It's on like A&E or something like that. But Live PD actually broadcasts live from Jeffersonville sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's some funky crap that still happens, even though it's a pretty quiet town.
Hey, I got a question. Anybody ever watch *Halt and Catch Fire*?
No, but I heard it was really good.
You need to check it out, my friend.
Yeah, because I think wasn't the premise of the show that like each season was a different story or something like that, and one of the stories.
Each season they had the gaming revolution, and then they had the PC revolution. Right, and the internet. I mean, it was nice. They had only 4 seasons, and then of course they don't do the show no more. It's kind of going out. It went out like how Mr. Robots get ready to go out.
Right. Yeah. I gotta look at that show. Gotta find it first. Probably on Hulu.
I have all the AVI files for all 4 seasons. I'm a fan.
Nice.
I'll send you a share out.
Loki.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, man. I just like those shows. You just savor those.
Yeah,
you just never know. I tell people all the time, I keep me a AVI or MKV file because you just never know.
Nuclear apocalypse, and the only form of it is like all the entertainment is everyone that like
because you never know. Because what if one day, right? What if one day Amazon says, you know what? I don't care if you bought the stuff online or whatever else. We own the content. We're taking it down, even though you paid for it.
Actually, that's already happened.
See, look at that.
But it's not Amazon taking it down. Amazon bought rights for some movies. And then they lost those rights, and they had to yank them back, and people had already paid for them. Same thing how Apple had the same issue with iTunes about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So do they get their money back, or they're just out?
Well, what happened was some people were just out because they chose to be out. They offered them some coupons for $5 or $10. The catch was, if folks had bought the movie and downloaded it, they didn't take away the download. Obviously, I mean, they well, I'm not going to say they couldn't, but they didn't. They don't have that technology in place. But you could no longer stream it. Amazon, on the other hand, is guilty of taking things in and out of Prime at what seems to be at random. Or having things that you can that are there, and then all of a sudden they lose the contract, or something gets renegotiated, and it's no longer available.
I'm telling you, if they do something with my Lana Turner movies, it is on.
You better download that shit.
It seems like every year around June or July, they put all the James Bond movies on Prime for free, and then by the end of August they're off. And then they're starting to do really evil shit like old TV shows. They'll give you the first 7 seasons, on Amazon Prime, and then the rest of them you have to pay for.
Yeah.
That some of that might be legal cutoffs though. Like if it's past a certain date, it might be out in a different licensing structure.
Yeah, but the thing is, you shouldn't sell it then.
Well, if you get the first 7 seasons, it's better than not getting any of it.
Oh no, I agree.
And then when they age out, because I think I've read something about that, and the explanation was there's a certain number of years before it ages out, and then they can put it on. Yeah, so the newer seasons might not aged out yet.
That's fine as far as Amazon Prime goes, but if you actually buy a video online and then wake up one morning and it's no longer available, that's a different story. And the thing about that is that I've always argued this, and no one has given me a satisfactory answer to this. In fact, most people, when I ask them this, they tell me to fuck off. Here's the thing. You don't buy music anymore. You almost never have bought music. You've never bought a video.
Yeah.
What you have bought is a license. And if you pull apart your CDs, you read the fine print, you have purchased a license to listen to this music. Now, that's fine. But here's my question. Does the license survive the media?
That's a good question.
See, my personal rule is yes, because I've had quite a few things I've had to fucking BitTorrent because I bought it twice on DVD and some fucker stole it. And so my rule is if I bought this shit twice and some fucker stole it, fuck you, I'm downloading it. But I'll take the thing for it. But going, no, look, I fucking bought it twice.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it tried in court though.
Yeah.
My philosophy is
if back in 1979, I buy a cassette tape of, let's say, the Cars' first album. Okay, I should be, and I go and I download a copy of it that was ripped from DVD in 2000. I'm not violating the terms per se because I've already purchased the license.
See, that's kind of the way that I look at it for most stuff, unless it's been a re-recording or a digital upgrade, and then they may try to claim that it's refurbished or new media. But
again,
that tends to be my feeling. But that tends to be my feeling, though, too, is that look, I've already paid for this. It's been stolen or broken. I'm downloading a new copy. So.
And you're allowed to make a copy too. You're allowed to make an archival copy.
Where you get in trouble because that did come through where archives are okay, but it's personal viewing only. So you're probably fine on all that unless you start re-uploading it or try to stream
exactly.
it. Exactly.
Now, as a club DJ, I have like 6 crates of CDs, and I have never put them up online, but I have ripped them.
Mm-hmm. No, I archive
and
stuff
it's like
too.
if anyone ever came here and grabbed my NAS, I'd be like, look, dude, there's 10,000 CDs over there. Feel free to match it up, because you know what, Picard is not going to help you with that one.
Yeah, and it's a hell of a lot easier with searching and archival and database retrieval if it's centralized on a hard drive than trying to dig through big CDs. So
fuck the man.
And it's legal to change the format of it. Like if you bought a CD or something like that, it's legal to, I don't know, turn it into like a MP4 file or something like that.
In archive, if it's a personal archive, that part shouldn't matter as long as you're not redistributing.
Okay.
Speaking of kick-ass torrents, got the owner got arrested. Yeah, damn. That's the worst thing. I think that's the worst thing to get arrested. He was better off just hacking a bank. Don't get arrested for no torrent. I mean, if you're gonna go on.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was about to say. Go ahead.
No, I said that website's been weird for me for a while. Not that I haven't been trying to torrent anything or anything like that, but anyway, when you go on the website, it asks you to sign up for an account or something like that. The ones I've been going on, at least, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that.
Nah, I'm to the point now. Torrent, like a torrent, is like desperation, last resort, everything. Like.
Yeah, you could just use YouTube and those whatever stuff like that.
J downloader.
Yeah.
Dude, I've gotten all the WrestleManias from YouTube.
Nice.
So I'm.
Do you have the Rock and Wrestle album?
No, I don't have that. I have WrestleManias 2 through 8. Those are my favorite WrestleManias.
Even if you're trying to view a video on YouTube that may be geo-restricted because someone filed a copyright claim, there are proxy tools that let you view it online and get around it that way based upon different regions. We actually just did that because we want to watch Hotel Hell, and we couldn't because half of season 3 was blocked in the U.S. So,
at the time,
we're from Germany! Yay!
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and then the BBC viewer, we had the Expat Shield. We used to pretend we were in the UK so we could watch Doctor Who, and it took them forever to get it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like HBO with Game of Thrones. That was a popular thing. Like, oh, you want to go on Hulu and you actually want to do it legally. You go through all these methods to get it legally, and you can't. So it's like, okay.
It would piss me off because you had to download all this shit and just it's like I'm trying to do this legally, but you're making it so hard. That actually was a big complaint, even with one of the old Sony execs that a long time ago we had talked to, and he had been pushing the company before he left. He goes, you guys need to make this easier and move to more digital and not keep punishing people because that's how they want the media. And it took them, I think, another almost 10 years before they finally even did anything where they would let you do the streaming. Because remember, MPAA they fought so fucking hard against piracy instead of just embracing the technology and finding a way to monetize it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, that would involve spending money and hurting the bottom line. Oh no.
It's so much cheaper. No, they make
I know. I'm being facetious. I'm being highly facetious.
They made so much fucking money on Rhapsody and shit. And then I remember I think it might still be. I know a lot of artists were pissed at iTunes and a bunch of other ones because they were making something like pennies on what they were getting when someone got something on iTunes versus a CD. I guess the CDs, the record company took so much shit out that it was better off if someone downloaded it. Because I think they were getting $1 or something if they got it from iTunes, but they're only getting like 5 cents if someone bought a CD. Yeah, because some of those contracts are ridiculous.
Oh, I believe it. Tropical island breeze. I'm in my Madonna mode.
But now that makes me think of Madonna. I start thinking about a simple thing like Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine song. I'm trying to think of what the hell I'm thinking of.
All right, I gotta head out, guys, because it's getting late.
All right.
Later.
What?
The Sound Machine was 80s
I
era,
said,
Miami Vice era.
I said keep your pan strong.
Yes, I will keep my pan. I will see y'all tomorrow.
I might get unruly. You might have to beat me down.
Dude, I always keep you in check, man. If you need to be bitch smacked, I will bitch smack you with love.
I'm pretty easy to manage, though. Generally, you just give me freshly cooked meat, and I'm okay.
A little bit of alcohol.
I'm fine with alcohol. Alcohol makes me nice. I'm a mean sober. When I start talking about wanting to hurt people, it's usually because I'm very sober. Wow.
He needs to get the edge off.
Pretty much.
I'm probably not bringing my cock unless I drive back up here on Sunday and bring him down for just an hour or two.
Pretty much all that says to me is she's saying, Adrian, sit your ass down somewhere and be glad you fucking know me.
All right, I love you guys. I'll catch you all tomorrow.
All right, catch you later. All right, what about the 3 hour mark? Do we have anything else?
Yeah, we are.
Show notes?
No, that's it. Everybody have a good night and live it up and enjoy, and hope to see everybody at DerbyCon tomorrow.
Right. I'll leave the chat going so people can talk back and forth. And we're in the stream here shortly. Anybody have any last words before I end the stream for the viewers?
You won't see me there tomorrow, but drink one for me.
I'll drink several for you, but okay.
Hoorah.
All right, I will stop the public stream and y'all can continue to chat. I might mute it because I'm going to sleep because I got to get up tomorrow morning and set up video. So
I gotta be a hunter tomorrow, so I'm out as well.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Night. Bye.